So now that I know that Christ was killed for me, I know I have to please my Father. That's the underlying point of John 3:16. That God killed his favorite for me, for me, for me.
They like to claim leadership, they like to claim this and that. You know what I'm saying? They like to be above when they really is and have authority. But they don't really need that authority, they don't really know what to do with that leadership. You understand? You hold hands with this why your ass need to stop and ask you to give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up to serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Yeah.
For homicide detectives, the clock starts ticking. The moment they are called, their chance of solving a murder is cut in half if they don't get a lead within the first 48 hours.
I do anything to keep my brothers safe. I'm putting food on my daughter's plate. You fucking losers, y'all just can't relate. You harm them, you will find me on the first 48. You will find me on the first 48. Find me on the first 48. I do anything to keep my daughter safe. You harm them, you will find me on the first 48. Sitting in that room, hear the interrogator's voice. They asking why I do it, I tell them I had no choice. Couldn't take a threat or a risk to my family, so throw the book at me, I take them charges happily. Ain't no need for no polygraphs or forensics. I put that fucker in a body bag, I'll admit it. Fuck a sentence or the jury that will convict me. They don't understand, it's my family, they represent me. So for them, I risk my freedom, roll the dice. I ain't got much more for you crackers, go ahead and give me life. You don't know what it's like for the people that you love. They ain't there to get salutes, they ain't there to give you hugs. The same that done pulled me from the dirt and from the mud, it's gone because of who? Yeah, I'd rather shed your blood. My brother's kids like my other kids. If you touch them, fuck around, get another bid, plus 10. Put me in the Supermax, I get super jacked, working out every day, canteen super stack, cool with that. Long as it mean my daughter's safe, my brother's winning, that's a chance I take. Still my fate. I do anything to keep my brothers safe. I'm putting food on my daughter's plate. You fucking losers, y'all just can't relate. You harm them, you will find me on the first 48. I got wives that done gave their y'all to stand beside me. Kids that can't see me fall, look at me proudly. Respected by men with honor up on their names. You harm one of them, I promise that you'll see pain. I'm one West train, made an oath to uphold it. Stood with my back against the wall, never folded. Grew up in the city where the love ain't brotherly. I ain't had too many friends, I ain't need the company. I'm my father's son, so I'm cool, just don't fuck with me. I say that you my homie, you're my brother, then you stuck with me. Never turn my back on mine, it's to the dirt. You cross them across that line, I end you first. But only make it worse, is loyalty hard to find. Never think, cause you out of sight, you out of mind. And I don't mind dying now, cause reincarnation got me coming back. Same scars in my heart aching. Be parlaying with killers from all places. Every last one of them for me a broad day shit. So what you think, I won't do it for them? Once they let me out the cell, shit, I do it again. It's for the family. I do anything to keep my brothers safe. I'm putting food on my daughter's plate. You fucking losers, y'all just can't relate. You harm them, you will find me on the first 48. Find me on the first 48. Find me on the first 48. I do anything to keep my people safe. You harm them, you will find me on the first 48.
Yo, I thought the bomber clot to them boy, man. Bad mind never kill them. Suffocate to no pussy. Yo, status. Tell some boys we don't chat us. Anyway, my dogs go in on the street, them bad. Gun talking up with jeans member. If any somebody ever treat them bad, send the pussy them but meet them God. Louis V kicks pan we feed them bad. Catch a new drip, dog we beat them bad. Look how we just come and we a beat them bad. You know see say we's them dad. Hey, but anyway though, this a no playground. The Glock 19, they have to stay round. Nah take no check with me payroll. Anything rise up, play down. Them a send check but they won't. Dog we make it step if they don't. but at the same old. Said them want smoke, but the grabber done flame out. A couple gyal come through. Gyal a WhatsApp what she gonna come to. She a give me tap and she swallow some juice. Gyal a suck cock till me Jonathan blow. Bentley van a come through. Convert to the drop top, still have a sunroof. The dog them roll, strap you one proof. Alright, wanna move. Anyway, my dogs go in the street, them bad. Gun talking out with jeans member. If any somebody ever treat them bad, send the pussy them but meet them God. Louis V kicks pan we feed them bad. Catch a new drip, dog the beat them bad. Look how we just come and we a beat them bad. You know see say we's them dad. Jeff say go fuck it up, so we fuck it up. Big up all of me friend them all who me never big up. All who know they are so, I ain't in a cup. Life shake up, you know me friend, but that's how we go. Greenfield say we tough, so we a fi bus. And all who a flip up and a lip up a fill it up. Girl pussy way buff, one give we a fuck. One the pussy bus, one her belly stuff with the fat cock. Nicky me give back shot, really. Girl a bad hype up if you're not that pretty. Money say make you know him can't chat silly. Anything we beat, we have a fat clock with it. Flick your bad with it, this a chop city. Anywhere we go, how we a lock that city. Money in a pocket, city, fat Billy. Don't come around if you're not family. Anywhere my dogs go in the street, them bad. Gun talking out with jeans member. If any somebody ever treat them bad, send the pussy them but meet them God. Louis V kicks pan we feed them bad. Catch a new drip, dog the beat them bad. Look how we just come and we a beat them bad. You know see say we's them dad.
Z, you know the chop. I.S.U.P.K. Badness no sad. Let me tell you how the badness steer. Dopey bad fly when the clock display. Tell a boy say no try box this face. Back switch face. You know how your blood clot casket stay boy. You must see one Baptist prayer. When the map stick raise that big straight. Shot misplaced, the key them in your head stop misbehaved. Crack his face, the key never tell us so we lock this place. Which locksmith, anyway watch this space. War with them bunny like plastic plate, hey. We don't play around, when you see the U.P.K. around. We bring the fucking AK around, AR-15s and AR rounds. We don't play around, when you see the U.P.K. around. We bring the fucking AK around, AR-15s and AR rounds. We no take drape up, we no take bait up, we no stay up. And when the next day come, we no change up. My heart them bad as them wake up. AK bus boy head top shake up. So tell a pussy world don't violate us. No care where you status, where you take up. Every man a killer till miss a dead face you straight up. Great stuff, one wrestling bigger than NATO. Man we boss it to NATO. Only man we afraid of, that are the creator, the maker. Hey, we don't play around. When you see the U.P.K. around, we bring the fucking AK around, AR-15s and AR rounds. We don't play around. When you see the U.P.K. around, we bring the fucking AK around, AR-15 and AR rounds. AR-15s and AR rounds. AR-15s and let me tell you how the badness steer. Dopey bad fly when the clock display. Tell a boy say no try box this face. Back switch face. You know how your blood clot casket stay boy. You must see one Baptist prayer. When the map stick raise that lick straight. Shot misplaced. The teeth them in your head stop misbehaved. Crack his face. The key never tell us so we lock this place. Which locksmith anyway watch this space. War with them bunny like plastic plate. We don't play around. When you see the U.P.K. around, we bring the fucking AK around, AR-15s and AR rounds.
no listen to no fake news, them can't. Could hold it out and them never feared you. Notice say I just be a bad bitch I get forward from with you. But the one you have to good girl them.
She never did a dress R-rated. Never did a dress half naked. Me never did a piggy R-rated things halfway, that's why me give R-ratings. She never did a dress half naked. Never did a dress R-rated. Me never did a piggy R-rated things halfway, that's why me give R-ratings. I know every girl a wife material. I know every girl forget the juice in my seed bag. I know every girl me trust to cook my food, nor boil my tea, not even put the milk in the cereal. Me like a catty when medieval. When we wash for cook for clean and no fuss. When she hear me get a new girl, I know that me mean when me say me fight me demons. Multiple wife legally, no illegal. Yeah, straight, me go crazy. I know every catty can be my first lady. I know every press plus body done pay for plus Tatiana no fit in a no mercy. When me say oh luxury dolly for nurse baby, a trouble when luxury dolly turn old lady. So big up every girl with no lazy. Your body big, but why your mommy donate it? I rate it. Never did a dress half naked. Me never did a piggy R-B things halfway, that's why me give her ratings. She never did a dress half naked. Never did a dress R-rated. Me never did a piggy R-B things halfway, that's why me give her ratings. She now wait pan money for reach her and donation. She make reach her man donation. 100 and run, but the waist gal a pull her for leave her man, but she stay strong. She know say them are no friends, them are haters. Them sleep with every man in a the acre. Can't get nobody for stay long and want the advice for relation. Baby no listen to no fake news. Them can't keep a man cause them never stay true. Could hold it out and them never pay dues. Never shut them out and them wicked and cruel, eh? Bag a man a rush but them just a get yours. Everything them have them did a fear blows. Instagram live them nude for the views. Baby that I know you though. Sure, I rate it. Never did a dress half naked. Me never did a piggy R-B things halfway, that's why me give her ratings. She never did a dress half naked. Never did a dress R-rated. Me never did a piggy R-B things halfway, that's why me give her ratings. One wish.
Any man give his life for YAHANNA, Mashiach, and Christ, and fall up under that U.P.K banner. It's my brother and my blood, and I will die and kill for him if necessary. Go to ground, 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 go to ground. It's all about that warfare, boy. Give ground, give ground, back up, give ground, give ground, back up, give ground, give ground. It's all about that warfare, boy. Take ground, 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 take ground. My soldiers take ground till them stand down. Take ground, take ground, take ground, take ground, take ground, take ground, take ground. My soldiers take ground till them stand down. Take ground, take ground, take ground. Nah, this ain't no movement, this a takedown. We will not be moved or intimidated. We ain't the type. You got a problem, tell them cross the fucking line. My niggas ain't polite. Soldiers to the left and right. I die for every man body. Before I be a coward, I'd rather be a dead body. This will be my kingdom when the hour pass. You can either get with it or get flipped like an hourglass. We live by honor and no excuse. Just sit the prayer up to the Lord. I told him, then let all the terrorists loose. Hold your tongue or get rebuked, cause you made a truce. With a race to make merchandise out of my abuse. Scared of who? You got your gun, then pull it. Me and my niggas start to argue, it's about who gon' bite the bullet. It gon' take round, take round, take round. Opponents better move slow. Attack dog for this truth. Nigga, cool yo. Go to ground, 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 go to ground. It's all about that warfare, boy. Give ground, give ground, give ground, back up, give ground, give ground, give ground, back up, give ground, give ground. It's all about that warfare, boy. Take ground, 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 take ground. My soldiers take ground till them stand down. Take ground, take ground, take ground, take ground, take ground, take ground. you could never prevail. Hey, with a true shit, hey, with warriors dwell. Be wise with them weapons, cause I promise. My nine just like my wife, she concealed, she modest. I know 2 things, a robber will not prosper. And any man harm me and my aunt, I'm gon' meet the doctor. Cause this life is warfare, it's not an easy walk. Been watching my people die, so you can miss me with that love talk. My U.P.K soldiers, any man try to cross your path, make him regret it. What that mean? Fall on his ass. Comparing me to you really ain't no contest. Long live one West. Say what? Long live one West. This for those who thinking we ain't ready for. Tell them back up. I'm about to drop something heavy for. Go to ground. 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 It's all about that warfare, boy. Give ground. Give ground. Give ground. Back up. Give ground. Give ground. Give ground. Back up. Give ground. Give ground. It's all about that warfare, boy. Take ground. 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 My soldiers take ground till them stand down. Take ground. 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 My soldiers take ground till them stand down.
West till they bury me. I'm 1 West till they bury me. I'm 1 West till they bury me. I be 1 West to the death till they bury me. 1 West till they bury me. I'm 1 West till they bury me. I'm 1 West till they bury me. I be 1 West to the death till they bury me. I be 1 West to the death till they bury me. They ain't scaring me. Rip the soul out of Pharisee. Speaking heresy and get you fucked up apparently. It's like they daring me. I said chill, they ain't hearing me. They ain't listening. Every bar nitroglycerin. Hit your heart, bring it back to start, make you live again. Get them dividends or we start getting ignorant. I be on that soldier shit. I told you shit phenomenal. Nah, but he abdominal. So what you suckers trying to do? Rhyming comical. Guess it's funny until I'm bombing you. Bring apocalypse to them pussy niggas that's popping shit. Team of all-stars, I coach them up like I'm Popovich. Fuck the politics and the lobbyists and apologists. They vagina, so we gon' check them like gynecologists. It's kinda obvious how the situation is ominous. The way I vomit this and regurgitate for the audience. They start applauding this cause the competition is fraudulent. From the era where niggas smoke you up like a parliament. The flow been stupid, shit has gotten retarded since. All the dominance of 1 West rising to prominent. Cause I be 1 West to the death till they bury me. I'm 1 West till they bury me. I be 1 West to the death till they bury me. I'm 1 West till they bury me. I be 1 West to the death till they bury me. I'm 1 West till they bury me. I be 1 West to the death till they bury me. I'm 1 West till they bury me. They want a nigga quiet, mute my maneuvers, but I ride like I got Groupon for Uber. Rhymes hard like they been viewed by Medusa. 9 milli Luger, 17 in the Ruger. Only need a few to sit up in your medulla. Obligata for the regatta, niggas wildin', they win every dollar. They riding by in black Impalas, let the semi holler. A showstopper, been the proper since a teeny bopper. But now I'm growing them off Patron, a premium of vodka. I put extensions on the Glock, modified the chopper. The swore heavy, war ready, and that's worth your mama. No marijuana, say I got the loudest silence on it. When I'm up on it, ain't no rapper do it like I do it. A lot of spitties and writers, but when the heat's on, none of them can get to the fire around with me. And I had a nigga spin like a tire, but down the deep, and I'm still dope as a piper. Every bar burn hard like a spoon with a lighter. Fuel to igniter, I'm winning, coming through with the title because U.P.K. I be 1 West to the death till they bury me. I'm 1 West till they bury me. I be 1 West to the death till they bury me. I'm 1 West till they bury me. I be 1 West to the death till they bury me. I'm 1 West till they bury me. I be 1 West to the death till they bury me. I'm 1 West till they bury me.
That shit was good. Yo, just know, like, after Greed Island, it gets really hard. Oh, yeah? Yeah, this shit is not, like, lighthearted and playful anymore. This shit gets, it's draining.
17 in Aruba.
Like, I have a hard time watching the third season. It really drains me. Wait, so the Greed Island, man? I thought that was the fourth season.
Okay. All right, Shalom. Yeah, Bashim Shuk Thumb. Yeah, Shemata Bashim Shuk. All right. And we hold it on until Gen.Mahayaman gets in. So if you all have any questions, let me get in right now. If I can't answer it, but just hold it on until Gen.Mahayaman comes. All right. Any questions? Anything? Whatsoever. Come on. Mm-hmm. Habakkuk. Well, that's good. That's I'm gonna give it to you, right? I'll tell you. Tell me what it is. Habakkuk what?
Okay,
2.
2,
15.
Mic check.
Let's see. Mm-hmm.
Habakkuk chapter 2, verse.
Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 15.
Mm-hmm.
Woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink, that puttest thy bottle to him, and makest him drunken also, that thou mayest look on their nakedness.
Okay. So woe. What does woe? What does woe means? Come on.
Destruction, sir.
Destruction. So it's in destruction on who? Read it.
Oh, God. Woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink.
Unto him. Right? Who's that him? Him could be who? It says it right there. Come on, Saparia.
Is him Israel or just
the brother in general, right? So the him, just think you have a and this goes on. Most of this take place in the world. You understand what I'm saying? Now, when you're coming here, you learn real brotherhood, right? I don't want to spell it out here, right? But read on Kazak. I want to give it.
Woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink, that puttest thy bottle to him, and makest him drunken also.
And he puttest thy bottle to him. When might put the bottle to him? Go ahead. Anybody? Come on.
Like, so is this like somebody that's tempting a brother that has a problem, or forcing, like tempting a brother?
That's the better word to use. You know what I mean? Tempting him. Because you know the brother have what? A problem. You know that when he drink, he does what? He act up. He want to touch. He all touchy. He all, you know what I mean? Say something to him. He's going to do what? He's going to flip out. He's going to just curse. Or their brothers who just what? Ready to fight. Right. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Is a, you know what I mean? Some brothers could, in other words, handle the liquor. Other brothers can't. And you as a brother in here, you're going to have to, you know what I mean, recognize, you know what I mean, when this brother or this sister had what? Enough to drink. Right? Read on.
That thou mayest look on their nakedness.
That they mayest look on their what?
Their nakedness.
What is that nakedness speaking about? Come on.
Their shame, sir.
Their shame. You have any precept to show that nakedness means shame? Come on. Give me some precept.
When Ham looked on Noah's nakedness, sir.
Right. And Noah, in that time, he was what? He was drunk. Right? So Noah would be who in this case? The brother who what? Is drunk. Right. Who took his liquor and was drunk. And now Ham comes in and do what? Sees what Noah tripping out. Right. And decides to do what? Laugh at him, make fun of him, ridicule him. Instead of do what? Instead of seeing that his father was what? Was in a vulnerable situation. And he took advantage of it. You understand? And we learn in here, we don't do that to our brother. You understand? You see a brother suffering with whatever, you know what I mean, ailment, whatever vice. You are not going to do what? You're not going to put it right there on the table, right in front of him. And pretend it's what? Brotherhood. That ain't brotherhood. You understand? You want to do what? You want to laugh. Right? Read on.
Verse 16. Thou art filled with shame for glory.
Thou art what?
Thou art filled with shame for glory.
Why is this you say thou art filled with shame for glory? What we just read above? What we just read above? Come on.
What we just read above was another brother, somebody else is tempting a brother that knowing they got an issue.
Right.
I mean,
so now bring the spirit behind it. Why is this brother tempting this other brother to do what?
To like you, sir.
Come on.
To laugh at the brother.
Right. And with him laughing at the brother, he does what? Come on.
He's laughing at himself.
No, it's not so much shame him. Well, okay. When we look at it, yes, he's shaming himself, the brother who's actually doing the laughing. But what is the brother who's laughing? What is the spirit behind what he's doing? He's trying to do what? Come on. Yeah, you're correct. What is spirit behind him doing it? Spirit behind him doing it. Okay. I want you all pour on the Christian hat. That's for a quick second. Come on.
It sounds like this.
Scripture too, because the first chapter in this verse was talking about the heathen nations. Can it also be talking about the other nations?
Yes.
They give us, and they point the finger at us and look at these things.
Yes, you could use it like that. Yes. You understand? But I'm just using it to like this specific verse on us and how we deal with each other in the world. You understand? All right, read on.
Thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered.
You understand? So he's saying drink what? And do what? Come on.
Like partake in the shame that the brothers has done to himself.
Okay, more so. Let's see if you can handle your drink. Go ahead and drink. Drink till you can handle no more. Go ahead. Since you think, you know what I mean, you know this brother couldn't do it. Couldn't handle it, but you still do it. You still offer him it. Now you drink. Drink up, Negro. Right? Come on.
The cup of the Lord's right hand shall be turned unto thee.
Right? The cup of the Lord right hand, meaning what? The Lord is going to do what? Come on.
Pretty much he's going to throw the shame back onto the one who was giving out the shame.
Yes. There's so much, you know what I mean? This is so much the Lord. The Lord is going to indeed get what? Justice for the brother who you're trying to do what? You're trying to shame. Because he know where your mind is. He know what you're thinking. He know why you're having the brother do what? Drink. And it's the same thing as the brother says, the same thing with these heathens. These heathens, what they're doing, they know what they're doing to us is what? It's wrong. But they still do it anyway because what? It's all about what? Money. It's just like if you bring it back to today with the so-called oppressor. Like he knows what to do to correct the situation with brothers and sisters. He know exactly what to do. You know that homosexual, being gay is a mental illness. Right. He knows it, and he knows if he allows it to run on, it's going to degrade or bring society down bit by bit. Right. He knows it, but yet and still, the gays have what? Money. Right. So guess what? We got to cater to who? Them. Right. So now you build a society based off of what? Money. Yes. So now we had a what? We had a drink that. You understand? And the Lord is saying, you make us do these things, I'm going to repay you for it. Right. It's justice. You understand? And that's what black people, as black people, we don't understand justice. Okay. We don't really and truly understand it. You understand? Any more on it? Come on.
And shameful spewing shall be on thy glory.
Right. And shameful what?
And shameful spewing shall be on thy glory.
Shameful spewing shall be on your glory. You understand? Meaning what? Come on.
What goes around comes around.
Yeah, but give me a little more. Come on. Yes, you're gonna be called out. Or you did this because you was trying to make this person look low. You understand? Okay. It's much like, as I say, like today, what the so-called oppressor doing to us. You know, it's like you living in the hood, right? Right. You're poor, yet still he gonna bring a van full of what? Shoes or whatever, put it out there just to do what? To trap you. Right. And then put you on TV and make you look what? Oh, he a criminal. Right. These are criminals. Right. So now everybody look at us as being what? We criminals. Right. But he did it. He planted that seed right there for you to do it. Right. Not saying you should do it, right, but he know the situation that we are in. But yet still, he wants to take what? He want to make you look like you the problem in America. Right, right. That's the whole housing, the Ponzi scheme. Yeah. Make you look like you were the problem. You brought the economy down. Right. You ain't bringing the economy down. Gotcha. You seen that today. You seen that you ain't bringing the economy down. Right. By the money that they're sending across to Ukraine, you see you're not bringing the economy down. Right. You see that they had the money. Right. Biden just what it was on the news. He just forgive student loan for a specific school. Right? I think it's some Corinthian girls. So like General, cut up. Why didn't you actually? You don't want to. Okay, come on. General Q, you want to take it and hold it until it comes? Okay, come on.
Could you pair this with how Esau and the United States government put the crack in our neighborhoods to make us look shameful as the criminals, and then the Lord turned around and now these oppressors are dying from opioids.
Yes,
right.
Yes, same thing. That's it. It's the same thing with the whole guns. Right. Where you know what I mean, you giving guns to brothers in Chicago, right, and they killing and running rampant in Chicago. Right. But guess what? We've been praying for what? What we've been praying for? Yes, terror. And guess what's happening right now? Yes, that's the Lord making you what? Drink up what you put out. All right? Give me the scripture where it talks about dregs. They say he's gonna make you drink the dregs. All right, you brothers and sisters, if you all have any questions, you'll type it in the chat. Come on.
What is the capital class? Can I use the Y if I brought the capital class? Can I use the Y and say like the Y for the other four? Can I say the Y is like all the trinkets they give us as far as the holidays?
Yes, the wine could.
The culture.
Correct. You can run. Yeah. Come. The wine is whatever make you drunk, whatever make you sleep. You understand? Whatever. You know what I mean? So like you take the class over to John Sharma. Most High Christ. So where were you at, brother? What was the question? He was asking for a breakdown on Habakkuk 2, 15 to 17. Let me have my bag. I think he's in verse 17 right now. Okay. Go ahead. Huh? No. Not right now, brother. Go ahead and read, brother. Where you at?
Ice cold. All right, warriors. All right. I've walked in. Y'all Shemata Bashemel Shai. Let's get it on, all right? I take your questions in the room and online. If you don't mind, I take that with some ice, please. Let me see. Right there. Yes, if you don't mind. Oh, here it is, right here. Okay, throughout. I'll take your questions in the room and online, all right? Of course, we'll go over the Gay Pride Month. I believe that's today or starting soon or something like that, right? We'll go over that, and I'll answer all of your questions. Let's have them. Who has a question? Ephraim. Okay. Please, go ahead. First, how far down do you need to go?
Just a few verses.
Go ahead.
All right, so Hosea 7:1. When I would have healed Israel, then the iniquity of Ephraim was discovered, and the wickedness of Samaria, for they commit falsehood, and the thief they coming in.
Do you need me to break that down for you?
No.
Go ahead.
Verse 2, and they consider not in their hearts that I remembered all their wickedness.
Mm-hmm.
Now their own doings have.
You mind raising this camera up and stack it on some books, make it higher, all right? So I don't look down at it. Go ahead.
And this is verse 2. And they consider not in their hearts that I remembered all their wickedness.
Mm-hmm.
Now their own doings have beset them about.
Mm-hmm.
They are before my face.
Mm-hmm. Put a shield up or something up on the screen as well. You want to go ahead, please go where do you need to go?
So,
go ahead.
Hosea 7:4. They are all adulterers,
Mm-hmm.
and as an oven heated by the baker. They are all adulterers,
mm-hmm.
and as an oven heated by the baker,
mm-hmm.
who cease from raising after he had kneaded the dough until
mm-hmm.
it be leavened.
Be leavened. Read it one more time.
Hosea 7:4. They are all adulterers,
mm-hmm.
as an oven heated by the baker,
mm-hmm.
who ceases from raising.
Spell that.
SEASETH.
Okay, go ahead.
From raising after he had kneaded the dough until it be leavened.
You didn't say ceaseth, you said seeth, right? See like your eyes?
I was trying to say cease.
Cease like
cease.
It's like stop.
Yes.
Okay, read it one more time.
Okay. They are all adulterers,
mm-hmm.
as an oven heated after the baker,
mm-hmm.
who ceaseth from raising after he had kneaded the dough
mm-hmm.
until it be leavened.
Meaning he's comparing their sin to like a baker who is waiting for the dough to rise until he puts it in the oven. And that's the sin of, I believe, the Northern Kingdom. Is that who Hosea is speaking to right here? What book is this in?
Hosea 7:1.
Right. This is Hosea speaking to the Northern Kingdom, the brothers and sisters you would call Hispanics, North American Indians today, meaning they're sinning so much and their sin is growing so much and it's getting so big until the Most High waits to destroy them. Just like bread, if you know how to bake bread, you put leaven or yeast in bread, and then you have to wait. You wait until it doubles or triples in size, and you wait and wait and wait, and you stop from cooking it. You stop from dealing with it until it rises. But once it rises, then it's time for it to go in the oven. That's this breakdown. You get the point, right? That's what our sin is doing to the Most High. It's growing and growing and growing until it's time to cook us. You understand? Anything else? Go ahead.
One more verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 6, Hosea 7 and 6.
Mm-hmm.
For they have made ready their heart like an oven.
Mm-hmm.
Whilst they lie in wait, their baker sleepeth all the night.
Mm-hmm.
In the morning it burneth as a flaming fire.
That's it. That's exactly what I just said. They make their heart is like the oven, meaning that our hearts are burning with sin, and we're about to die because of what's in our heart. What's in our heart? Leaven, making us rise and puff up and puff up and puff up. We think we're so much and so big and so strong because of our attachment to the other nations, which was Ephraim's and the other Hispanic tribes. That was their main problem, is they always had a path to become Assyrian, always had a path to become like the other nations, and they always took it. Their branches grew over a wall. You get the point. And they would get bigger and bigger and bigger, stronger and stronger and stronger until it was time to cook. You get the point. All right. Continue. Next question. Any question in the room? I'll answer it now. Go ahead, Al. You good here or not? How you thought? Mm-hmm.
It's a general breakdown on this, right? James 4. But a judge,
Mm-hmm.
right? That property, judge it, a brother. And
you're not supposed to speak evil of your brother and judge your brother. Who is supposed to judge your brother? Up front.
The Lord.
How does the Lord judge your brother? Baltimore. Give him a hand. Right. So many Christians and fake Israelites. Can they hear me online? So many Christians and fake Israelites hear this precept and they think this precept means never say anyone is doing anything wrong. So if you're a homosexual, if you're a whore, if you're a child molester, which is one of the main ways that this precept comes up, you can't actually say he's a child molester, because that would be like that would be you judging him. And once you do that, you're not keeping the law anymore. But of course, if you can't say anyone does anything, then how do you do what Christ said to do, which is take them to the council? You have to open your mouth and say, he molested my child, or else no one would ever know that he molested your child, and then you could not take him to counsel. So you would have to speak evil of him to take him to the judge. You would have to go tell someone. So now, because I know that precept, when Christ said take 2 or 3, that every word might be established, I know he does want me to say this in front of people, because he said take 2 or 3. Is everyone familiar with what I'm talking about? It's in Matthew 18. When he said take 2 or 3 witnesses that every word might be established. Well, I know by that precept, he does want me to say what this brother did if he's done something to trespass against me. So I know it can't mean that. So what is this precept actually about? This precept is about taking the law into your own hands. That's what this precept is about. You're not allowed to take the law into your own hands. You can't go in the room and say, hey, where's brother so-and-so? Oh, I killed him. Yeah, he did something evil to me, so I went in and killed him. What? He did what to you? Yeah, he did something wrong to me. It was worthy of death. And so what? Guess what's going to happen? You're getting killed. Do you understand? Because now you've broken the law by being a judge over the law. You're not a judge over the law. You can't judge your own matter. You get the point? You're a poor judge of your own offense. Do you understand? You cannot take the law into your own hands. If someone has wronged you, you go to the authority set up over you about that wrong. That authority will decide if that claim is true or not. In many cases, you're wrong. He did nothing wrong to you. In many cases, he has done something wrong to you, and that judge will make him pay. Remember that scripture where the sister came before King Solomon, who this woman took her child. This woman's child died. She went and kidnapped the woman's child and said it was hers. And what happened? Did the woman kill her and take her child back? You would think she would have the right. In our community, we think we should handle those problems ourselves, do we not? Someone steal your car, you go down to their house and hit him with a damn pipe in their mouth and take your car back. And when the cops come, you wondering why are they bothering you? He took my car. He did that. He hit me first. That was my car. No, you're getting arrested for stealing that car because we haven't established whose car that is. You hit him upside the head with a pipe and took the car keys and drove off. You're going to jail for assault and theft. And then you'll stand there bewildered like, how could this happen? How could I steal my own goddamn car? This is how, idiot. We haven't established whose car that is. Right? Now, in the court case, we'll see the paperwork and see whose car it is, but you're getting arrested. Right? Do not take the law in your own hands. And that's what this precept is about. Next. Online.
Salak, if I may, I don't want.
Who said something? Fayetteville, we got. Salak, Fayetteville. Let me see you up here. Who's in here tonight, Mashak? Whenever you're ready, let me know.
It's 12. Salak, if I may, I don't want.
Go ahead, call him out. Who we got here? We got headquarters out of Harlem. Give him a hand. North Carolina, did I see that? Let me see the rest of them. North Carolina, give them a hand. Nashville, give them a hand. Puerto Rico, give them a hand. Delaware, give Delaware a hand. Houston, give Houston a hand. Trinidad, give Trinidad a hand. San Antonio, give San Antonio a hand. Fayetteville, we got them already. No, we didn't get them. Fayetteville, North Carolina. Give them a hand. Good to go, Akim and Aguakim. Where's Killeen? Killeen, Texas, give Killeen a hand. Oh, sign Christ. All right. I'll take your question. Where is it from, Mashak? Nashville, you're up.
Sir. Salaki, if I could, can I get a breakdown of how Adam communicated with the Most High?
Adam communicated with what?
The Most High.
Solid. Is there a precept you're talking about?
I don't have one in mind. That's what I was asking.
Adam communicated with the Most High through reading the stars, much the same way that we read the Bible today, right? He connected them much like you would make shapes and make words out of them, which is what reading is and writing is. Reading and writing are shapes that we associated with wheels and cows and different things. And Adam made a language over common everyday shapes that everyone already had names for. And so he put those, lined them up next to each other, and that's where the alphabet comes from. And every other country made an alphabet off of shapes that we already knew what they were. We already knew what they sounded like, and so that's where writing was invented. He did that with the stars. Our oppressor in the Greeks and the Romans, they in a similar fashion connect stars in a way and tell you that that's Leo. And that's what they say. That thing is 4 stars in the sky. Show me Leo up on the thing. For anyone, you can pick the constellation. Show me the constellation without them drawing the lion, without them drawing the cat with the bow and arrow or the man pouring water on the ground. Show me Aquarius. Aquarius is supposed to be a man pouring water on the ground from a vase. Now, show me that picture. Put it up on the screen. Like, that is just some idiot who's telling you this is a man pouring water up on the ground when he made that up. You understand? He decided to call it that. And now you idiots who believe in astrology, because you're full of witchcraft and Christian garbage, you think that looks like a man pouring water on the ground with a vase, or a man shooting a bow and arrow. I forget what all that garbage is, or a lion, all that mess, and it's made up. Those stars do not look like that. Some white man drew it, and you believe it's the case. Now, what is this supposed to be? You understand what this is? This is Leo. That's it. Make it bigger, please, one more time. This is Leo. This is supposed to be a lion. This is it. This right here. This is a lion right here. Now show it to me. Can you see the trace?
That's the lightest one they have with those lines.
Yeah. Well, you can show me the lines now. Show me the lines. Yeah, that's a lion. You know, I'm supposed to, decide what my day is going to be like because of that. I'm supposed to, make all my decisions in life because some devil said that's a lion back in the time of the Greeks and Romans or whenever they did it. It's not a lion. It's not. That's not a person. Look at this here. That's a lion. That's it. That's Leo. I got to make my whole life about that shape. Hell, maybe it's a horse. Maybe it's a whatever in the hell I say it is because it's all made up anyway. Well, Adam looked at those stars and knew exactly what the Most High was trying to tell him. And the proof that what he read was right is that what he read gave him power. It worked. He subdued the garden until, of course, he disobeyed everything he read in the stars. You get the point, all right? That's what Adam did. Adam read just like you read the Bible, but the Most High said that you will not learn like him. You will learn at my mouth. So we don't look at the stars and read the stars like Adam, because the Most High God told Moses that you will learn at my mouth, meaning a prophet of God talks. You listen to him, and that is God talking. So you don't have to wonder what shape that is. What shape is that in the sky? Come on.
So, could you explain that, Salakia? What it means when Seth was he was the first to call on the name of the Lord, I think it says, or something like
You better have to show me that so I can understand. All right, I forget what the question was, but you get the point. Next. Go ahead, Op.
Salam, Adawan, Officer Badger. Salakia, so I had a question on subject. What is the purpose of the expanse of the universe, like the infinite of space, like the expanse of the universe itself? What is, I know we understand it, like the other planets would be considered like islands that we in the future will cultivate and use for our purposes, but what is the purpose of the rest of it, not just our solar system, but every other galaxy and so on and so forth?
Okay, the purpose of how, when you say expanse, you're meaning how big the universe is, correct?
Kind of concept, the infinite amount of stuff.
I got you. Well, think of what is the reason that the Earth is so big?
So
that's the point. There are places on the Earth, far away, islands so far away, the depth of the sea. How deep is the sea? My God, you could never explore it. There are places right here on Earth that you could never get to ever, because our oppressor cannot get there and has never done it. Why are there so many islands? Why is there so much land? There's so much land in America alone. You would think there would be no problem with bringing our brothers, the South Americans and the Mexicans, over here, because there's vast expanses. If you drive on a highway anywhere, you go, well, there is so much space here. Why is there even an issue with bringing more people here? When you could just spread out. There's no reason for us to be crammed together all the time. We're not fighting over space in America. So what is the problem? Well, why is it so large? Why is the universe so big? Because with every inch that we have, there is more land to occupy. The universe is large, brother, because it is your heritage. It's your inheritance. The same reason that there are islands scattered all over the planet. Those islands are your inheritance. More places for you to own, more land for you to cultivate so that we can spread out, so we can have a land of our own, so we can have peace with one another, because you have your border and I have mine. And there's no reason for us to fight over land, is there? No reason to steal from each other. No reason to move your border over so I can have more land on mine. Why would you do that when this earth is your inheritance and beyond? Everybody understands. You get it, Abijah. Also, Levi in headquarters sent me a question earlier about a precept. Just Levi, tell Mashak what the precept is, or you can say it yourself. General in the back.
Come out on con, sir.
Go ahead.
And to him also there was born a son, and he called his name Enos.
Mm-hmm.
Then began men to call upon the name of the Lord.
Meaning? I mean, what's your question about it?
Yeah, so I'm trying to figure out why did men begin to call on the name of the Lord when Enoch was born? I know.
Okay, well, it doesn't say this directly, but you would have to infer that in that time when he was born, that this brother did the work to make people want to know about the Lord, that he taught. It's like saying, in this time, people begin to learn the Lord in the time of Enos. There you go. He was out teaching and out working, and people began to know the Most High because of him. Right. And it's important to do that with every Bible scripture. You want to take all of the religion off of it, all of the spooky garbage, and just make it simple so that you can relate it to your times, so you can know what you have to do. Everybody understands, because your job is to live this book. Your job is to go out and do what Enos did. Your job is to go out and do what Noah did, to go out and do what our king has done. Everyone understands. Next. Go ahead, Warrior.
I mean, sure, I got the precept out of one.
Go ahead, up.
It's the book of 2 Chronicles, chapter 25, verse 18.
Go ahead.
And Joash, king of Israel, sent to Amaziah, king of Judah, saying, the thistle that was in Lebanon sent to the cedar that was in Lebanon.
Is this 2 Chronicles, Zach?
2 Chronicles, sir.
Okay, what the hell did I look? I looked this up earlier when you sent it to me. I don't remember that.
Come, if I made the one, I believe I sent you. I took the picture right, but I put chapter 26 by mistake, sir.
Oh, okay. I didn't ask Commander General YAHANNA about this one, Salakia. You gotta wait one more time. All right. I had the breakdown for the other one, but not this one. All right.
I
just can't recall it. Read it one more time. Maybe it'll jog my memory. Go ahead, read it again.
That 2 Chronicles, chapter 26, verse 18. And Joash, king of Israel, sent to Amaziah, king of Judah. You want me to take earlier verse? I don't want to give you some context.
You need to. Go ahead.
Come. Verse 16. And it came to pass. So like it. Then Amaziah. I was gonna read verse 17, sir.
Go ahead, Doc.
Then Amaziah, king of Judah, took advice and sent to Joash, the son of Jehoahaz, the son of Jehu, king of Israel, saying, come, let us see one another in the face.
You had 2 Chronicles what?
25 verse.
I think this is 1 Chronicles out.
No, 2 Chronicles, sir. 2 Chronicles 25. That's the wrong chapter. They on 26. The chapter is 25.
You had 2 Chronicles 25 and what?
Verse 18 is where the question is at, sir.
All right, read 18.
And Joash, king of Israel, sent to Amaziah, king of Judah, saying, the thistle that was in Lebanon sent to the cedar that was in Lebanon, saying, give thy daughter to my son to wife. And there passed by a wild beast that was in Lebanon and trod down the thistle.
I cannot recall about 50% sure, but I'd be guessing. I don't remember the breakdown. Okay, I don't. Unless one of you other officers remembers it. Go ahead.
I'm not sure, but I know that Daniel, he prophesied about the marriage of I think Bernice to one of those epiphanies or what have you in that breakdown of Daniel's 11th chapter.
Right. I can't verify it. Let me ask Commander General YAHANNA just because I can't verify it. I can't recall it, Doc Salaki. All right. All right. You have to wait one more week or wait until Monday. All right. You got it, Levi. Next. I'll get you. Go ahead,
sir. So, brother. Officer Zarat in Detroit said he get a general breakdown on 2 Maccabees, chapter 3, verses 24 to 26, sir.
Go ahead.
2 Maccabees 3 and 24. You got the book of 2 Maccabees chapter 3 verse 24. Now as he was there present himself with his guard about the treasury, the Lord of spirits and the prince of all power caused a great admiration, so that all that presumed to come in with him were astonished at the power of God, and fainted and were so afraid.
He needs this broken down. This.
You want to turn a breakdown, sir?
All right, where are we at again?
2 Maccabees chapter 3 verse 24.
Second. Okay, 1 second. Give me the context of this. 2 Maccabees 3. This is after the uprising.
I'm not sure, sir.
Let me look it up real fast. 2 Maccabees. After the uprising, right? Let me catch up with you. Bear with me. 2 Maccabees 3 and 4. 24. Mm-hmm. 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 Okay, this cat I can't remember. Hello, Doris. I don't remember this cat. Cabal, you recall this?
God, this is a story about one of them Greeks that came into the temple, the temple, what have you, and he saw an angel on there. The angel beat the crap out of him, or what have you. He gave us the ghost
and died.
He stepped foot up in there at the wrong time.
Oh, that's jog. You jogged my memory with that just now. Okay, he wanted 23 broken down.
24 to 26, sir.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, go ahead and read it.
Verse 24, 2 Maccabees chapter 3, verse 24. Now as he was there present himself with his guard about the treasury, the Lord of spirits and the prince of all power caused a great admiration, so that all presumed to come in with him were astonished at the power of God, and fainted and were so afraid.
So meaning when they walked, this is the temple, I believe, correct, Cabal? They walked into the temple, everyone was so astonished at the Most High's power that they all just fainted when they walked into the temple. All right, just overcome with the power of the Most High, Ephraim.
Yeah, you said the wrong word. It said apparition.
Apparate like the angel, which is about to appear, correct? Right, meaning an apparition is like, an angel appeared. And so the angel appeared, and the angel's power just made them fall out on the ground. Continue.
Verse 25. For there appeared unto them an horse with a terrible rider upon him, and adorned with a very fair covering.
So you want to imagine that. Imagine, a horse, and it was terrible. And the covering is like if you've seen old movies where a night movie where the horse is dressed up. The horse has a garment on, an armor on the horse. It was fair, meaning it was beautiful. Continue.
And he ran fiercely.
And he's running hard, like not trotting, but running hard. That's running fiercely. Go ahead.
And smote Helidorus with his 4 feet.
And killed him with his 4 feet, meaning the damn horse reared up and hit him kapaka with those front hoofs. That's 4 is front. 4 feet is the 2 feet in front of a horse that he clobbered this cat down with. Go ahead.
And it seemed that he that sat upon the horse had complete harness of gold.
You go to harness, meaning that thing that's around the horse's mouth, attached to leather straps. It looked like it was made of gold. Go ahead.
Verse 26. Moreover, 2 other young men appeared before him, notable in strength, excellent in beauty.
So now, and 2 other young cats appeared in front of the horsemen, and they were just outstanding. Now, these 2 cats that showed up, it was like, God damn, they were beautiful. These 2 young brothers. Continue.
And comely in apparel, who stood by him on either side, and scorched him continually.
And scorched him, it says scorch, correct?
Scorched.
Scourged, yeah, exactly. And they took that whip and just beat him. They beating this cat and beating him and beating him. The horse knocking the piss out of him. He was in hell. Continue.
And gave him many sore stripes.
You hear that? Stripes, meaning it was a whip. Like a stripe is a whelp. Like a whelp, like a ton of your mothers did when they put you in that bathtub and beat you with that extension cord because your mother was a psychopath. That's a whelp. A scourge is a whelp. Go ahead.
Verse 27. And hell of doors fell suddenly unto the ground. It was compassed with great darkness.
Mm-hmm.
But they that were with him took him up and put him into a litter.
So now the cats that was with this guy, a litter is what would you call that today? That thing that the paramedic come, the ambulance come and put you on that thing to carry you to the hospital? A stretcher. That's what a litter is. A litter is a stretcher. So they came and put him on a stretcher and took him the hell out of there. Continue.
Verse 28. Thus him that lately came with a great train and with all his guard into the said treasury, they carried out, being unable to help himself with his weapons.
A great train is like, imagine your garment, right? If you wore a long garment to the ground. But imagine if it was so long that it trailed behind you, which I'm probably going to wear next year. It's giving me ideas. I'm going to come like this, minus the stealing. Imagine a garment where it's just, some little, you got to have 3 wives behind you carrying the back of the garment. Hold up, Michelle. Give me a pen. Give me some paper and a pen. They holding the damn garment in the back. That's how this cat walked into the temple, with a garment that had a train that was traveling behind him, swiping on the floor. Right. And he came lately, being showed up late because he's the man, and that's that, and you waiting on him. Well, he got carried out of there in the stretcher up. With all of that power and all of that garment, and everybody loved him. The people that thought he was the man were laying on the ground, fainted. There was enough brothers there just to put him on a stretcher and get him the hell out the temple. Keep going.
Being unable to help himself with his weapons.
You get that? Go ahead.
And manifestly they acknowledge the power of God.
Now they know. That's how you learn, young man. That's how you learn. Next. Come on.
So this here, he came with the weapons to do something.
To my memory, to steal, but I'm only about 75% on it. Come on. Yeah, he went in with weapons, and everybody was with him, and he was taking the cash. Yeah.
Walk in there and walk out with the candlestick.
And he thought it was because there was no priest, the Most High couldn't stop him. And the Most High just sent an angel. 2 young brothers working with the angel. 2 young. When I say brothers, I mean they were young men, but they were also angels. And they came in there to beat him, and the horse came to stomp him, and they carried him out on a stretcher. Go ahead.
We use this one from Dylan Storm. He went
to
Remind
me.
Weapons.
Uh-huh.
Like to say, okay, like, oh, they saying there he holds a but they let him in, he killed all of them.
Yeah, that didn't work with them.
Yeah, but this
no angel came in there to help them. Yeah, you're right about that. Go ahead, next.
I had a question.
Go ahead.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 4. I wanted to know. I used to use this. I thought it was a precept they used to for a brother that's run his family. Keeping control of his wife and kids.
Right.
How to do it and how not to do it.
Right.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 4 verse 30.
Mm-hmm.
Be not as a lion in thy house, nor frantic among thy servants. I just needed to refresh it.
You said you used to use it to say what breakdown did you give about it?
No, it's like I was thinking it was not to be outrageous in your household, like just yelling and
What if your wife is yelling?
Well, you gotta not being how you want to say. Well, when your wife is yelling, you gotta.
But would you be a lion in your house if you are yelling and your wife is yelling? Would you then be a lion? So then, what does being a lion in your home mean? Because you should not be a lion in your house. You cannot be a lion in your home. So what can't you do in your home? Come on.
Is that talking about being a tyrant in your house?
What does that mean?
Being authoritarian.
So you can't be an authority in your home.
In a bad way.
What is how can you be an authority in a bad way? What does that mean? Baltimore.
Abusive.
Say again?
Abusive.
What do you mean?
Using your authority to abuse.
What is abuse? One second.
Harming.
Say again?
Harming.
Explain.
Verbally abusive, shaming, belittling, not actually correcting, but using your authority to shame rather than to correct.
Okay, now, first of all, I want everybody to hear the answers that came from brothers in the UPK, right? Each one of you gave an answer that was about talking, verbally abusive, being a tyrant, being authoritarian, right? And that's because you brothers are kind. And that's the kind of answer a kind brother gives. Because in your mind, being a lion is really yelling at her too much, you know, hurting her feelings. When, of course, lions don't hurt people's feelings. Right? You get my point? Right. Lions kill people. When the Bible says don't be a lion in your house, don't physically abuse your wife. Don't knock all her teeth out of her head. Don't use your strength, your physical superior strength that you have over everyone in your home, to kill them and beat them to death and wrap them up in the shower curtain and put them under the bed. Don't kill them. Don't beat them. Right? Because your wife in some cases does have a bigger mouth than you. Your wife in many cases is more of a tyrant than you, more authoritative than you. But your wife is, I don't know any case where a wife is physically stronger than you. Even you brothers, some of you brothers got a big old strong wife. I've seen you got a wrestling partner. You got a tag team partner in there. Well, guess what, sister? That brother is smaller than you, but he could still whoop your ass. If he wants to, that little brother, if he feel like it, he'll use that man's strength. And you'll be shocked that that little brother whooped your ass in that house. Don't do that. Now, the reason none of you brothers knew the answer, because when I've asked this question since 1995, and no one ever says beat her, because that is not how you think. You don't think like that. You think, don't be a lion. Don't yell at her too much. You know, don't be too hard on her. Don't, hurt her feelings, because you are kind. And remember that about yourself. Don't forget that about yourself. Because people will try to make you forget that you're some type of cat that doesn't even think like that. When you go to not be a lion, you're thinking, well, I can't yell at her all the time. I can't be too hard on him. I can't be too authoritative. You don't even think, well, don't knock her teeth out. Don't smack her down the steps. Don't kick her down the steps when you find out she's pregnant. That was old school. That was the old school before Roe v. Wade. Before Roe v. Wade, you get in an argument at the top of the steps. Shalom, you know what I'm talking about. You pregnant? Yeah. Well, I'm tired of your shit. Move over here. Stand right here. I'm tired of your shit. Somehow the fight would happen. She'd go tumbling down the steps. That was the old school abortion, y'all. Y'all brothers without gray hair, you don't know what I'm talking about. Everybody with gray hair knows what I'm talking about. Okay, don't do that. Okay, don't kick her down the steps when you find out she's pregnant. That is a lion in your house. You're harming them. You're killing them. You're beating them. Don't do that. That is unlawful. Paul said this when Paul was standing before the Sadducee and Pharisee and he was speaking for the name of Christ. One of the Pharisees said, smite him. And Paul said, how dare thou claimest to be a judge of the law? Then command that I be smitten against the law. You're not allowed to assault someone in the truth. You're not allowed to assault a brother, somebody walking down the street, your wife. You're not allowed to assault people. Your authority over them doesn't give you the right to assault them. Physical violence is traumatic. It is so traumatic, brother, that most people can't get over it. Most people that, were in grade school and someone beat them up. Brothers think about that for the rest of their lives. Watching someone get beat up, your big brother got beat up, your mother got hit by somebody. You will be 35 years old and it will stick with you because physical violence is traumatic and you don't have the right to give that trauma to someone. Young man, officer, I'm sorry, Salaki, go ahead.
I was going to say, I had a rib before that tell me that she preferred that I physically, abuse her than verbally abuse her because it's more traumatic to her. She'd rather be, struck than the way I used to talk to her.
Yeah,
things I would say.
That's what she's used to. You got to choose better women because that is not uncommon for a woman that would rather that you beat her, right? Because that type of woman wants to emasculate and belittle you. And then, of course, when you go to put her in her place, it hurts her feelings, and she wishes you would just beat her because she's been beat by so many men. There has been a woman like that has just been beaten, my God, by everybody. Everybody has beat her. Come on. Yeah. So it's like that's a type of woman who almost just gets used to being beat. She's used to it. But she's a psychopath.
All
right, go ahead. Come on.
The last part of the same verse. Mm-hmm. Nor be frantic among thy servants. So is this a king that has servants who's like not being too paranoid or too he's not controlled or not calm-minded and running the kingdom?
This is a calm man. This is the kind brother.
Okay.
We were servants to the white man.
Okay, kind.
You see it now, right? That's because he's kind. It's like your brain don't even go there. Okay, we didn't say, "Oh, white man, you handling us a little too frantically." Calm down. We'll get to this cotton. We'll get to this sugar cane, Mashak. Relax. That's not how it went. Like when masters are frantic with their servants, they beat their backs bloody. You understand? You don't think like that because you're kind. So even when you read it, you don't even think beating servants, but of course that is what happens to servants. Look at a few history books on around the walls and you'll see what happens to servants when their masters are frantic. They beat their backs bloody. Don't do that. If you have servants, don't beat them to death. Don't harm them. This is about physical abuse and given by the people who you believe you have the right to physically abuse, right? They're your servant. So you can put their head under a rocking chair until they die, which happened. It's a famous story. Happened. You can beat them to death. You can tie them to a pole, tie them to a tree, and beat them all day because they didn't pick their quota, because they didn't cut enough sugar cane. You can beat your wife. Why? Because you're bigger than her. Right? Cabal. Oh, Jesus. The Quran encourages it. Come on.
Yeah, I was just looking at a YouTube video when they used to put black people on a stake and rotate us over the fire until we just died.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Yeah, that's frantic. That's a lunatic who now has slaves, but he is a psychopath. He's a lunatic. Come on.
What was the 40 lashes? What was the 40 lashes about? Is that in the law?
That is in the law. I believe it says no more than 40, or the 40 is a number, and I believe it's no more than 40.
Right. So you could get a judgment
for a certain judgment.
Right.
And I believe it says no more than 40, but you can pull it up for me and tell me. All right. Come on.
You can't get hit.
Oh, you can get hit. Yeah, that could happen. You could get hit. Don't be ridiculous. You get my point. Don't be a damn lunatic. Don't think that physical violence is just what you can do. See, here now we can get right. This is what we need. Get out of here. Get sit there. I can feel more comfortable. Don't worry, Whit. One day. Sometimes I talk so one day. Sometimes to get thirsty, and I say, wait. That's right. How many you say Cabal? 40 you said. Cabal, you heard him say it. All right, you get the point. All right, come on, Mashat. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Let me get him right here. Go ahead. No, after please. Everyone can eat out. Just go ahead and get down. All right. Go ahead.
Salaki, if I may.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. Can I hear us?
Go ahead, Captain.
If I may, can I get a breakdown on 2 Corinthians chapter 12 and verse 7?
2 Corinthians 12 and 7.
Come on, sir. So you gotta be.
Shout out to the brother down there, and the new captain down there in Delaware. Give him a hand, man. An extremely difficult rank to attain in the UPK. And to Trinidad, give Trinidad a hand, the new captain down there. Go ahead, Warrior. Where's the precept at?
Okay, if I may, sir, the scripture, the precept is in 2 Corinthians 12 and 7. Now, when it talks about the thorn in Paul's flesh, is this like something that maybe he's dealing with that the Lord is not, like when he asks like the Lord to relieve him of it, and the Lord is like, no, my grace is sufficient. Is this something that, just keeping him in check so that he still has to fight?
Okay, don't think that the thing is keeping him in check. The thing is something he should not have. But the Most High is not taking it from him like magic, which is what Paul wanted. But the Most High wasn't just making him not want to smoke anymore, not want to get high anymore, not want to have sex with whores anymore. Like in most things in your life, if there's a thing that is afflicting you, it's hurting you. The thorn in his side is something that Paul had that was hurting him. It was hurting him, and he wanted it to be gone. And he asked the Most High 3 times to take it from him. And the Most High said, my grace is sufficient. Some Christians say that this thing is like a physical ailment, like having a hurt leg or hurt foot. It is not a hurt leg and a hurt foot. How do you know it? Because my grace is sufficient. He didn't say, you can use your other foot, or you can limp, or I'll give you a cane. If the Most High's grace is sufficient, then this thorn in Paul's side was something that could make the Lord angry if you do it, could make the Most High upset, but he's giving you time to stop, which is what grace is. Grace is time to stop. Now, you don't want time to stop. What do you want? You want to not want to do it anymore, don't you? That's what you want. You believe that God should just use his magic and take away your desire for whores. Take away your desire to get high, to smoke. You wish you could just wake up one day and you don't want weed anymore. That would be easy, I know. I can dig it. But his grace is sufficient. What you're going to do is get up and go to class and go to camp, and you are going to want a cigarette every day. Every day you're going to want to get high. Every day you're going to miss some slut who left you. You wish you could forget her. You wish it would just not be in your brain anymore. It's going to stay in your brain. And don't worry, you'll be okay. The Most High understands that you need more time to get over this. And that grace is good enough for you. You don't need him to just take it away from you. What you need is time to get over it, which is what Paul was awarded. Please.
Come on, sir, the water.
Salakia, sure.
1 second. Go ahead.
Paul was sinning, right?
Okay, no, this does not mean that Paul was sinning, which is what it pained him. It doesn't mean, that he was doing it, because then, of course, it wouldn't pain him. Right? You know what's the best cure for wanting a cigarette? A cigarette. No more pain. How you doing, Doc? I'm straight. I was in pain, but now I'm all right. Right? But Paul had a thorn in his side, which is the desire to do it, wanting to do it, needing it, constantly like, oh my God, I just feel like I'm going to drive down this street and do this again. Feels like I'm about to go do it again. Oh God, why can't you just get rid of this? Why do I still think about this person? Why am I still in this head? God, I wish this could go away. That's painful. It's painful to resist sin, not to do sin. To do sin is bliss. It's happiness. You understand? You had your hand up?
It's like,
Go ahead.
It's just like how, like a brother might, he'll stop smoking weed, but he hates the fact that when he smells weed, it's like, ooh, he started to think about what it used to feel, but he didn't smoke. Right?
It makes you feel like you're about to do it.
Right.
And it's like a fight every day.
Right.
It's like fighting it all the time. And fighting it all the time makes you feel like eventually I'm going to do it. Right? And everybody's been through this. Anyone who has ever tried to beat an addiction up, this is it. This is why people don't give up things, because of the what? Why do people continue to smoke weed, continue to sniff cocaine, continue to sell drugs, continue to do drugs, continue to hurt people, continue homosexuality? Right? Why? Why don't people just give up being homosexuals for Gay Pride Month? Why don't they just say, I'm done with that? Even Christians know that being a homosexual is wrong. Christians know it. They know it. Why don't they just stop? Give me one word to show me you're paying a bit of attention. Ephraim. You're almost there. That's not the reason they don't stop. That's not the reason they don't stop. That's not the reason. That's not the reason that they don't stop. They don't stop because of the pain. The pain of stopping. And if you've ever given up anything, that smoking weed is a terrible demon. Like the UPK would be probably 5 times its size if not for weed. Anybody that you've ever known that left the truth is smoking weed right now. Now go test it if you think I'm lying. Go see him one day or talk to him. Anything. Whoever has ever been in here and has left here is smoking weed. There is no one that has ever left the truth that is not getting high. This school we'd be as big as the Christian church if not for weed. Weed is a terrible, terrible addiction. And when they go to stop, as they're in here and they have on all black, or they're a sister, what are they feeling every day? Pain. They're hurting every day. Every day. We're trying to go to class and go to camp. Hurt. And then they're like, oh, my baby mama. Then the problems start. And the problems feel like, I can't handle this problem with my wife and the pain of giving up weed. I cannot have a job. And then they'll come into you and tell you that they're not coming around anymore because of the breakdown on Ezekiel 27:10. I don't know what the fuck that means. I don't know what it's there, Ezekiel 27:10. You leave your truth over that? All right, whatever you say it is, it means. So can we go to camp? Oh, we still can't go. Oh, maybe it's about something else. Maybe you just want to get high, and you need to run out of here as fast as you can to get high. Come on, Levi up front.
I was gonna say, even the pain of spending your money, when you at the grocery store, CVS, and back in the day, like, man, I used to just put this in my pocket and not pay money for it. Now it hurts to pay money.
It hurts to not steal. I would all steal all of this. It's just so much pain, and you want to sin. Wanting to sin causes pain. Paul wanted to sin. And how do you know it? Because he also said right here, there is a war within my members. What I want to do, I do not. And what I want not to do, I do. He is fighting and fighting and fighting, which means he wasn't doing it because he was fighting it. And that hurts. That hurts. Good to go? Right here. Levi, go ahead.
I got a breakdown on Genesis chapter 11, verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go ahead and read it, sir.
Please.
Genesis 11, verse 6. And the Lord said, behold, the people is one, and they have all one language.
Mm-hmm.
And this thing begin to do. And now, nothing will be restrained from them,
right,
which they have imagined to do.
Mm-hmm.
Just that part, sir, where nothing is restrained from them.
Oh, my goodness. Once they're unified in one language, then they'll be able to do everything. This is a perfect precept for America. For America. They were unified, and in their unity, they can do anything. What did the Most High do with Babylon? He came down and confounded their language so that they could not do anything that they wanted to do. A lot of you see the conflict in America and you go, oh, this conflict is terrible. They storming the White House. They're marching down the street. There are riots. And what if there was all peace in America? What if there was no storming the White House? What if there was no battle over the election? What if they were in absolute unity with each other? They would enslave every race on the planet. You understand? Every race on the planet would be in subjugation unto them. The only reason that they aren't able to make everyone their slave is because they still fight each other. And you should thank God when you see them fighting each other. Because if the Democrats and Republicans did not fight each other, oh my God, brother, they would make all of us their stones that they walk over every day. They would be unified. So the conflict, they don't understand each other. They can't come together. It helps them not achieve the things that they truly want to achieve. I pray you understand that. Next. Chicago, you're up.
Hey, Shalom, little Christ out of one. Can you hear me?
I hear you fine.
Kind of one con, sir. So like I had a question in Proverbs chapter 24 and verse 15.
Mm-hmm.
It says, lay not wait, O wicked man, against the dwelling of the righteous. Spoil not his resting place. If I could, I just wanted a general breakdown of what it meant, sir. So like it.
To lay in wait means to lay on someone. Y'all still use that term? Lay on somebody? That's when you sitting in your car outside of that house, brother, about a block away. You just sitting in there watching and waiting for them to get home, and you sitting there all the time, waiting for them to come out of the house in the morning or come in the house at night. Laying in wait means that you are hiding, waiting for them to come so you can kill them or rob them. Right? The Most High is saying, don't lay in wait, you wicked man, for the righteous. Don't lay in wait so you can kill or steal from a righteous man. Don't do that. That's the point. Now read the rest of it after that. Righteous. Go ahead.
Spoil not his resting place.
Don't spoil his resting place, his home, where he sleeps. So you're sitting outside his house waiting and waiting and waiting so you can go rob a righteous man. Don't rob his resting place. Don't rob his house. Come on.
Sir. For a just man falleth 7 times.
For a just man falls 7 times. Keep going.
And raiseth up again.
And he raises up again. You might look at this brother and you might think he's down right now so I could rob him. But he's going to stand up. This man is going to stand up. So don't rob him. Don't think that now he can fall in your hands because now he's alone. Now he's vulnerable. He's going to stand up again. You understand that?
Sir. The water, sir.
No sweat. Next. Go ahead.
So like, yes, sir. This is Killeen, Texas.
1 second. Let me get Baltimore over here. Go ahead.
Come on.
DC, Salakia, DC, you got it.
When World War III is done and over with, and America is destroyed by thermonuclear warfare, will this land ever be inhabitable or inhabited?
After 1,000 years. After 1,000 years, I forget the precept, but there is a precept about it. After 1,000 years, this land will now be able to plant, vegetables and crops, and people will be able to come back over here. Until then, it'll be a nuclear wasteland. Like you look over at places like Chernobyl right now, and there's, you got to wait, 1,000 years or 500 years or 100 years. Go ahead. Forget about it. It'll be the nuclear. You won't be able to go there without dying from the nuclear fallout. And that nuclear waste, brother, you can't go to Chernobyl now. They had a big old fight about it in the Ukraine. Is that where Chernobyl is in the Ukraine? When they went over and took over the place where Chernobyl was, And they said nobody can go over there because you still can't go over there right now. In Chernobyl, I think happened in the 80s. But if you walk over there too long, you're going to die. You can't go to Chernobyl without dying if you go over there because damn near everything over there is just nuclear and it's in the air and in the soil, and you'll die if you stay there too long. After 1,000 years, that nuclear fallout will subside, and then we'll make America the kingdom of heaven like the rest of the world will be. But not for 1,000 years. For 1,000 years, it's going to be the lake of fire. Anything else? Killeen, Texas, you're up.
Con, sir. I had a question, matter of protocol, on dealing with officers the same rank as you, but with, they might have more tenure or higher seniority in their truth. In just casual situations, would you have to follow order if they might give you one or something like that? Or, regard them as if they, were like your Ottawa and something of that sort.
All right. In the UPK, right? And this is a issue that happens often where brothers might not know what to do, right? I'll explain it to you. Listen very closely because you, of course, don't want to end up on the wrong end of a council over this. All right. Raise your hand if you ever worked in slavery before. Raise your hand. All right. Okay. If you can try to knock off all of the arrogance and pride of finally being someone that has rank. Your whole life, no one ever called you sir your entire goddamn life. Never. Who in the hell would call you sir? You come into the UPK, now someone starts to call you sir. Cunt out of one cunt. And they'll follow your orders. And sometimes because you are really a small man, you don't know how to actually be an authority over someone. And small people, it's very difficult for you to be an authority over people because you're really a small and tiny person. You're like a poor man that got rich. You've seen that before, right? You see a rich person who grew up rich, his clothing, he gets them at Walmart. You could never tell that he's rich. Someone from the projects and gets rich, they can't walk because of the gold around their neck. They can't walk. Their fingers, they're covered in every ring, shoes, Mercedes-Benz, limos, yachts. You can look at him and go, oh, you just got that money. Because you don't know how to have money. And you can tell that he grew up poor because he doesn't know how to have money. And then he's broke again in a year. All right. And sometimes when you're in the truth and now you have power and rank, you do the same thing. You don't know how to stop, ordering brothers around and abusing your power because you're really a tiny, tiny little man. And you can't have rank because it's too much for you. You're like the poor man from the projects that hit the lottery, and now you have solid gold shoes and teeth and chains and a boat because you don't know how to have it. What you want to do is be able to carry rank with grace. You understand? With grace. To be able to gracefully be over someone. If you've worked in slavery before, then this should be easy for you to understand. If someone is the same rank as you, they are your peer. They're your peer. You're not their superior. They're your peer. Like the cat that sits next to you working in a factory. They're the same as you. They're sitting next to you doing the same job. You work together, right? Normal to you, right? If you're sitting give me a job, brother. You're at Walmart. Both of you got that damn vest on. You're sitting there with the vest on. You're working together. Now, when you go to Walmart, sometimes you're new and he's been there before you, right? But what happens? He teaches you how to stack the boxes and teaches you the ins and outs because he's been there longer. And he'll train you. He'll show you what to do, but it doesn't mean he's your supervisor. Do you understand? Because you're the same rank. But he's been there longer, and in the beginning, you're going to lean on his experience. But there comes a time when even he will go, well, listen, the supervisor is this cat. I'm training you to do the same job as me, but I'm not the supervisor. The supervisor would be that brother, even of any rank, that has operational command over any situation. You're both 500 in rank. You're peers. You work together. He's been there longer, so he's going to teach you the ropes. He's been a 500 longer. So he'll be the one to show you what to do, show you around the camp and the class and how to operate. But he is not your superior. He is your peer. Until some camp leader says, you're in charge of this department. Now, even though you're both 500, he has operational command over the flyers, the TV, the lights. Now, whoever works under him is working under him, even if you're the same rank. So that means if he says, if you work with him in the lights department, you have to follow his orders in the lights department because he becomes your supervisor. Simple enough to understand, right? But if he is not your supervisor and simply has been in the truth longer than you, then yes, he will teach you the ropes. He will show you what to do, but he is not your superior. And this is, and if you can't handle this, if this is, if you're bossing brothers around because you came into the truth 2 months before them, then it's because you really can't be in charge of anyone. You're tiny. You're a small person. And so before you know it, I'll show you how small you are. All right? Everybody understand.
The water, sir.
The water.
There was some questions online.
Come on.
Khan, Salakia, sir.
Go ahead, headquarters.
Khan, sir, I had a question about a topic you brought up a minute ago. When you said Democrats and Republicans fighting each other, there's a lot of people, both Esau and Jake, that'll say, "Oh, that's all a sham. Behind the scenes, they're working together, and that they all do that just to put that in our faces." None of that is true. Is there any truth to that or no?
No, there's no truth to that. You ever heard of the Civil War?
Khan, sir.
White people fight each other.
Khan, sir.
Kill each other.
They
killed about 250,000 of them. Did they kill each other for black people?
No,
they killed each other for power.
Right.
White people fight over power and they kill one another over it. That's why you ever heard of Europe?
Khan.
You know how many wars they fought in Europe?
Khan, sir.
Europe is constantly killing each other. And which is why if you're in Europe, it's dangerous because they're going to do it again. They can't. If Russia is going to go to war with Germany because they always do.
Right.
What they do traditionally. They constantly will kill each other given the opportunity.
Right.
And the Democrats killed each other in the Civil War.
Right.
They literally killed one another and shot each other. And they'll do it again and again and again. They hate one another, the Democrats and the Republicans. The Germans and the Russians and the French and the Americans, they love to kill one another. Being violent is a white character trait.
Right.
Not a black or Hispanic character trait. We behave like them from too much exposure to their culture. But white culture, caveman, troglodyte culture, is to just kill everyone who opposes you for any reason. And you just look at world history to prove this point. Now you're fine.
Bro, it's a good point because I was going to ask you about the shooting that happened with the brother who killed his doctor and two patients that got in front of him. Meaning he acting like an American, like he decided to kill. You know what I mean?
That's American culture, to be violent and the terrorism. It's American culture. It's not black culture or Hispanic culture. Next.
Salakia, sir.
Go ahead,
if I may, sir, this is a food called yellowfin and bluefin tuna. Have you heard about that?
Do I know about the yellow and bluefin tuna, Khan?
I'm trying to find out, is that lawful, sir?
Unlawful.
Unlawful?
Khan.
And could we clear the air right now with sushi?
Okay, sushi If it's an unlawful fish, is unlawful. Sushi, if it's a lawful fish, is lawful. Simple enough. You need more? All right. Listen, and nobody forcing you to eat it. All right? But you asked me, is it lawful? I'm not talking about your preference in dinner. I'm talking about lawful and unlawful. Right? There is no law against eating raw fish.
Concert.
You don't have to eat it, but it's your preference. It is not unlawful. You cannot eat the blood of anything. Fish do not have veins running through their flesh. There is no blood in a fillet of fish because that's not how fish work. Their guts and everything is where the blood is, but there is no vein running through the flesh. So salmon, pollock, trout, whiting, cod, you could eat it raw if you want. Don't do it around General YAHANNA. No. Okay, now you can. He order a steak and you order fish. It's going to be sushi is going to be a whole problem at the table. Okay, so but that's his preference. It is not unlawful. He knows it's not unlawful, but he just does not like that. All right, you get the point. It is not unlawful to eat raw fish. There is no scripture against it. Done. It is unlawful to eat raw beef,
right,
and raw chicken and raw lamb because of the blood, or blood sausage. Blood sausage has cooked blood, and it is still unlawful because the Bible says it has to run on the ground like water. So if you gather up the blood and cook it, it is unlawful. So even though blood sausage is cooked, what is it called in Spanish? Morcia. Ephraim loves it. It's unlawful.
Never had that.
Benjamin?
So like sir,
sir,
this
over in the UK they call it pudding as well. Go ahead.
So like I said, this is Officer Shagapan, sir. I wanted to know what is the UPK stance on the gun buyback programs that different states and governments are doing. What is our stance in terms of buyback programs?
As far as the gun buyback program, right? Meaning somebody, you have a gun in your home, you want to sell it. There is nothing unlawful with you selling your gun. If it is legal, you can sell your gun. Should you need to sell your gun? No. You shouldn't need to sell your gun. Does that mean you don't need to sell your gun? No. If you are someone that believes you need to sell your gun, you are free to do it. Would I do it? No. I would not sell my gun. I keep all my guns. And I got a lot of them. And I don't sell none of them. I might buy some. But I'm not going to sell any of them. Now, with that said, I'm not going to put it in my mouth and kill myself either. Some of you might kill your damn self. Sell your gun. Do the buyback program. Because you close to eating your gun every goddamn day.
It's like it, sir.
You one of them old drunks that do that. You sit there with it. I should do it. Bitch, I'm going to do it. You bitch. You dirty bitch, I'm going to do it. There's a buyback program. You can go down there and sell that gun. If you're someone that can't have a gun, and some people cannot have a gun. I talked about it earlier with a poor man that gets money or a small man that gets authority. Some of you, if you get a gun, you're going to do something illegal with it because you're not used to having the power over life and death. You can't have it. You're going to kill yourself. You're going to shoot yourself or shoot your woman or go out and rob somebody or go stick up a store. You should get rid of your gun. It's not good for you to have. You understand? And it's better that you just don't have it. I'll tell you a personal story. When I was young in the truth, oh my God. I was young in the truth, and I used to have guns, of course, illegally in the world, like every other brother in the world, right? But now I came into the truth, and I begin to have nightmares every night about someone kicking in my door And I slept with my gun under my pillow. And I would have a nightmare every night about me getting my gun and going and quick and getting this cat that was going to kick in my door, which can happen just from being in the world and feeling like your evil deeds are chasing you. Do you understand? Really, it's your conscience. Really, it was my conscience chasing me. And I began to have them so much that I told Commander General YAHANNA, I was young, and he said, take apart your gun and put it in your closet so you can't use it. And he said that to me, and I went back and I just took it apart. Put it in the closet, and I said, well, nigga, come in the door now. It's me and the Lord. And I slept well. I was able to sleep because now I didn't have a gun to save me. And then I slept. And then I got over it, and then I put all my guns back together and just stacked them up all around the house. In every room, under the TV, everywhere you go. Because then it didn't matter anymore. I was free from I didn't have that thing anymore. That took some time. It took years where I just said, I'm not touching the gun. If somebody come in here, it's just me and the Most High. We're going to have to the Lord going to have to be with me. Years of that, I got over it. And then a gun became like a kitchen knife. It became just to be like a screwdriver in the drawer. It didn't have any more mystique there wasn't a spirit on it anymore. It was like having a knife or having a screw gun or having a can opener. It became to be normal, and then I could treat a gun normal. But I wasn't able to treat one normal in the beginning. If you're that kind of person, if you can't treat it normal, get rid of it, because the statistics say that you're going to kill yourself with your gun. I believe I went over this before. Do you not remember? Go look up the majority of gun deaths. They're suicides. You did it for me, 95, right? No, I think you did. It was the majority of gun deaths. It was 63% of all gun shootings are suicides. 63%. So the numbers say, really, that gun that you all showing everybody on Facebook, you're going to put that in your mouth. So just take it to the gun buyback, all right? All right, next.
This thing like it's in Nashville.
On the line, they had somebody was asking about the fish.
Go ahead.
They asked if mackerel, is mackerel lawful, and also one more fish there, sardine.
Okay, let me deal with mackerel first, because this comes up every 5 or 6 years. When you go Google mackerel, Google is going to say that mackerel have scales, but they are microscopic. They cannot be seen with the naked eye. They're a little bigger under the dorsal fin, but not much bigger. Okay, now, so you can't see them with your naked eye. So then you have to ask yourself, did Moses have a microscope? And remember, Moses killed people for breaking the law. So if Moses did not have a microscope, then to Moses would mackerel be unlawful without the benefit of a microscope. If you have to say yes, then mackerel are unlawful to you, because it is called the law of Moses. Mackerel are unlawful. Microscopic, can't be seen with the naked eye scales, are no scales. Simple enough to understand, right? Mackerel it's unlawful to eat mackerel. The so-called Jew eats mackerel because it has microscopic scales. But Moses didn't have a microscope, so I can't eat that. You get the point, all right? What's the other? Sardines are lawful. A sardine has fins and scales. You don't have to eat it. No one's forcing you. I ain't telling you. I ain't pushing no cabal from down south. Down south, they eat some sardines on some crackers. Okay? They eat them like crazy. But no one is forcing you to eat sardines. Do not put sardines on anything you serve Commander General YAHANNA. Do not do that. He will be offended greatly. But you can eat them in the privacy of your own home, all right? If you choose to or do not. Sardines are lawful because they have fins and scales. Mackerel is unlawful because it does not have scales. Simple enough. Go ahead. Anything else, Machop?
That was it for those questions. Somebody was asking on that. Someone running schools was asking a question.
Go ahead.
Which one it was.
Go ahead up.
If not, I have more questions in the chat.
Come on. I'm gonna get to the gayness in a minute.
This might be one to go into.
Go ahead.
Somebody asked about fighting the lust with porn. How do you fight? How do you fight desires for whores, especially specifically porn? Kind of get a precept.
Okay, this same person asked them how they feel about homosexuality. The same person. And asked them, what would they tell a homosexual? How does a homosexual fight their desire to have homosexual sex? I don't know if you brothers know. You brothers out there that like prostitutes, right? Raise your hand. I tried to catch it. They too quick for that. Go ahead, raise your hand, brothers like prostitutes. Yeah, they too quick. Well, listen, I'm sure none of you brothers even ever think about a prostitute. I hear you. I don't know what that's about. Well, the thing that you feel when you want a whore, that is what a homosexual feels when he wants another man. It's the same thing. It's the exact same thing. It is not different. It is his sexual preference. Just like prostitution is your sexual preference. Some of you like to have sex with white women. Well, a man who wants to have sex with another man is feeling the exact same thing you feel for white women. Some of you want to have sex with whores on Facebook and Instagram, right? You look at them and you're looking at them all night and you're getting all turned on by them. You know that they're not decent women. And that is your type. Your wife is unattractive to you because she is not a hoe. And your preference, your type of woman is a woman that has sex with a lot of men. A woman who's dressed in a, scandalous way. That turns you on. Your wife does not turn you on. Because your wife, you know for a fact that your wife is not a whore because she's with you. This woman is on Facebook and she turned you on because she's a whore. That feeling you have that's attracted to whores is the exact same feeling that a homosexual feels. There is no difference at all. He feels the same thing. Why is he a homosexual? When he was young, he was molested by a man, right? He turned that child molestation, combined with going to church, combined with his mother, combined with weakness, and it made him just say, this is the way I have had sex, so now I am sexualized to it, right? If you've ever had an orgasm, the way you've had it will burn itself in your mind, and you will feel like that is what I have to do again to have an orgasm. Well, why do you like whores and prostitutes? Because, of course, your first woman that you have an orgasm with was a whore. Because whores are very easy to have sex with. So inevitably, most young men, the first girl you're with will be the one that's giving it up to everyone. And that orgasm burns itself into your mind. And now whenever you see a whore, it goes back to your childhood, to being sexualized at a young age. And now you're attracted to whores. It is the exact same reason that they're gay. There is no difference in it. Everybody understands. I can prove it in the Bible. That's coming, right? What's about to happen. All right. Did the brother answer the question? How does he feel about homosexuals? And what would he tell a homosexual? So many brothers struggle with that. Like, damn, how do you get rid of whores? How do I stop it? Well, don't you speak against homosexuality? Well, how in the hell are they supposed to stop it? Like, what are you expecting that gay man to do? To not have sex with men anymore? He's been doing it since 10 years old when his uncle raped him. So now what do you want to stone him and kill him and mock him and make fun of him for doing something that he can't stop doing? You can't stop having sex with Facebook whores. You don't get mocked and made fun of and killed. Why should he? Why is it that his sin is worse than yours? Precept. The Bible, thou shalt, James, that's what I want. Give him a hand. Give it to me in James. And then give me all sin as the sin of Sodom and Gomorrah. That's what I want. You familiar with that? There's another one where they declare their sin as Sodom. That's a good one. I want that one. The key to fighting whores, the desire for whores, the desire for the internet, it's worse. Don't you feel like, damn, with this internet, it's so hard to get all these whores. Guess what else is hard to get off of because of the internet? Huh? Who wants to tell me? That's true, but what else? Homosexuality. That too, right? Because a gay man who's trying to fight it, there's a million websites, and the Senate and the Congress and the president is saying that he should be gay, and his preacher and his reverend and his mayor is saying you should be gay. How in the hell is he supposed to stop? You can't stop because of what? The internet? Because of what? Instagram? You can't stop being with whores? How in the hell is he supposed to? When everything on this planet is telling him to be gay. Well, whatever you would tell him, tell yourself. That's all you do. That's how you stop. Whatever you would tell, you hate a child molester, right? Oh my God, in jail, I mean, they had a rough time. You understand? A child molester, right? I'm sure they're still having rough times. A child molester. And why are you stabbing him and beating him up? Because he's a child molester, and that's disgusting. That's a terrible thing. Well, why is he a child molester? Because he's been molested. And he's been doing this since he was 9. And he's learned this. What would you tell him to do? Tell it to yourself. Tell it to yourself, right? Because no one is stabbing you, right? No one is breaking your ribs. So tell it to yourself. Since no one is going to harm you for having sex with some girl who's been molested her whole life, and the only reason she's giving it up is because she's been molested. Tell it to yourself. Whatever you would tell a child molester, whatever you would tell a homosexual, tell it to yourself. Simple enough to understand, right? And that's difficult. It's difficult. Why? Because looking at sinners makes you forget your sin. Because they're terrible. Oh my God. You see them faggots? Stinking faggots. Look at them wearing them dresses and the lipstick and the gay pride parade. That's disgusting. Let me go on OnlyFans real fast and just check out. Let me make a few purchases. Put them in your cart. Slide them holes in your cart, Michelle. Damn faggots. I can't believe y'all faggots out there being faggots. Yes, Miss Tina Candy, let me purchase you and a few more. Bring 2 of your friends. We'll have a threesome. Faggot, get out of here. Yes, 2 threesomes. Yes, thank you. Come on. Come on. Are you sure you're better than a faggot? You might want to think about it for a second. I know how it is. Confession is good for the soul. You know what's bad for me is when I watch fake Israelite groups in their videos. Fake Israelites make it hard for me to stay humble. Because when I watch them, I think I'm the man. Fake Israelites, I try. You know, you should be humble. I look at a fake Israelite and I go, I think I'm the fucking man compared to them. It's hard to be humble if you look at fake Israelite groups, because then I compare them with myself and they pale in comparison. And it makes me think I'm the man, and it's hard to stay humble if you watch fake Israelite groups. So I don't watch them for that reason. I don't look at fake Israelite groups because all they will do is just make my ego grow. And so I don't want to constantly think I'm better than everybody. But if I look at a fake Israelite group, I will have proof that I'm better than everybody. All right. And so sometimes looking at a homosexual can make you go, I'm better than him. All I do is have sex with whores I meet on Instagram. And I go on Facebook and I lie about myself and I lay on a car I don't own. so that some whore can think I own the car, and I have sex with the kind of woman that only has sex with men who have nice cars. And that can make me think I'm better than a homosexual when both of us are simply doing what our lust has conditioned us to do. You're not better than a faggot up. You're the same. So whatever you would tell yourself, whatever you would tell this faggot, tell it to yourself, and that's how you stop having lust for prostitutes. Simple enough to get, right? Go ahead.
He also said specifically porn, but I remember sharing an experience when I came into the truth. I was up here talking to you. I was 18 or 19. I was like, sir, how do you stop watching porn? And I thought you were going to give me a magical precept. He was like, just stop. And I was like, wow, I thought you were going to tell me something ridiculous.
Yeah, that's all I. For porn, porn is a hell of a thing, and I'll explain why. You know what the best cure for porn is? Real tail.
Right. There you go.
Get that a hand. Real tail. Oh, you young brothers. Y'all so young. Y'all young brothers. Y'all ain't never really had no pussy. Just tell the truth on yourself. Right? Y'all ain't never really had no pussy. Y'all don't know what that's. Salakia. You just don't know anything about it. You just don't know it. But once you get real women, porn does not compare to real women. It is not. But why are you addicted to porn? Because you had an orgasm at a particular time in your life, and now it is burned into your brain. And so many of you when you get grown, you have a wife that you don't touch, but you watch porn all the time because you don't want your wife. You want the girl on the pornography. And you don't understand because real women are a nation and a universe better than porn. I mean, it's just the best way to get rid of a porn addiction is real women. Real. And it's as simple as you want to watch porn because you need sexual gratification, and you just take all of that and give it to her. That's it. At that moment, you're like, well, I wish I could just go get one of them VHS tapes. Oh, damn, y'all. Whatever y'all doing. I guess you got a robot now to come into your damn house. Whatever you're doing on that internet, at that moment, like when it's like, I want to watch porn and get the sexual gratification, just say, call her. Get over to that house. Go get a woman. Go get one and give her all of that. And before you know it, you will develop the same sexualization to women. Like you'll force yourself to now say, well, I did do it like this, all by myself, shameful and disgusting. Now I'm giving it to her in honor. Over time, what'll happen? You'll lose your desire for that, and you'll build up a sexual desire for her. Guess who else can do that? Who else can do that? Homosexual men. I know you've been with men and you got all that in your brain. A man is no comparison to a woman, Huck. You homosexuals out there, you ain't even having sex. You know what these women have? You gay men don't even know. You gay men, you all rubbing on a mirror image of your damn self. You don't even know all that feminine sweetness and sugar and a whole, you know what, it's like beautiful because they are an opposite to you. And that is the beauty of it. It's like, this is a strange, it's like a whole nother being. A woman is like, not you. She don't smell like you, act like you, talk like you. Her mood is different than yours. She's so strange that it's hard to even understand her. And that will turn you on because she is so different. In the beginning, you're used to being with, a mirror image of yourself with a man. But if you just say, I'm not going to be with a man, I'm going to find a woman. And every time I would have been a faggot, I'm going to give it to her. Over time, you're going to go, I don't know what in the hell I was even thinking. When this woman is a damn treasure in a garden of pleasure, here I am rubbing up on a damn another me. Moving on. Please, up front.
I was going to say, go and enjoy the front butt.
The front. That's correct. Men don't have those. It's so much that a man just does not have. He just don't have it. She got it all. She's a garden. She is a straight up garden. That you, because of some priest or preacher, when you were 9 years old, are not even getting to eat from that garden. You will learn to love it. Please believe it. It will change you. It will change you. Next. Anything else? Go ahead. I'll get those precepts at the end if I need to, if I have more questions. I want the one that is sin is as Sodom. All sin is as Sodom, and there's one God that's told you to now thou shalt not murder, has also said don't covet. You need that for the breakdown I just described, all right? Rashad, questions. Trinidad, you're up.
So you Trinidad?
Trinidad.
Can I get a general breakdown on Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 16 and 17?
Okay.
Can I tell you read it?
Please.
Can I come? The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7 and verse 16. Be not righteous over much, neither make thyself over wise. Why shouldest thou destroy thyself?
Be not righteous over much, or why make thyself over wise? Read one more verse, I believe.
Verse 17. Be not over much wicked, neither be thou foolish. Why shouldest thou die over much wicked? Neither be thou.
I can't hear him too well, Michelle.
You can't. Like, go to the camera and speak about it.
Hear me better now, sir?
Go ahead, try it again.
Can.
Read one verse above righteous over much.
Can. The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7 and verse 15. All things have I seen in the days of my vanity. There is a just man that perished in his righteousness, and there is a wicked man that prolongeth his life in his wickedness. Verse 16. Be not righteous over much, neither make thyself over wise. Why shouldest thou destroy thyself?
Who knows what this is speaking about before I give it to you? This is a classic UPK breakdown, classic UPK scripture. What do you have? I'll break it down for you in about 10 seconds. All right, here it comes, right? Be not righteous over much. It's talking about you have things in your life that you have to be over and righteous over those things. Don't try to be righteous over everything. There are things in life that you don't have power over, that you can't control. So many of you will go crazy trying to be righteous over things that you don't have the control over. You have things in your life that are under you, that you're what? Over. Don't be righteous over much. Control the things that you can control. Now, can you change what every restaurant is cooking in? Let me give you a thing that's going to make you go crazy when you come to the truth. What are they cooking in that restaurant? Has it been pork in that oil? Have they fried shrimp in that grease at Popeyes? Popeyes sells shrimp and they sell chicken. Are they frying shrimp in that chicken grease? Are they doing it? May I see the manager, please? I would like you to change the oil each time that we make this. And I would like you to change the oil in every Popeyes and go into every restaurant and control how they cook their food in every restaurant you go into. So I'm sure the supermarket, the people who touch the chicken have never touched the crab, or don't ever. The people that touch the fish, they don't touch crab in the supermarket, right? So let me make sure that the people, when I buy my fish, it's a place where they have never touched crab before they touch my chicken, or touch the fish that I buy. Or when I go to the fish store and I get fish, the next order before mine, has he touched crab or touched catfish as well? Go in there. May I speak to the manager? Go in there and change how everyone sells meat and food in all of the countries you're in, and go nuts. You understand? You'll go berserk, which is what he's trying to say. He's seen righteous men go crazy because you cannot control everyone else's righteousness. You can't do that. There's an amount of things that you can control. Control those out. Don't be right. Give me the shambles one. That's the precept to make you understand.
Is there any correlation between 15 and 16? Verse 15.
Let me hear it.
15 says, all things have I seen in the days of my vanity. There is a just man that perished in his righteousness, and there is a wicked man that prolongeth his life in his wickedness.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Because the wicked don't give a damn about anything. They sleep at night and they relax because they're careless, because they don't care. So now, because they don't care, they get up, they go to work, they eat, they have sex with their woman, they move on. You are trying to make sure that no one that has ever touched shrimp touches your Popeyes. You're going to go crazy. Because how in the hell could you make sure? How is it possible to make sure? Eventually, you got to say, listen, I order chicken. That's it. I don't know what y'all doing. The cat who makes the chicken, I don't know what he's touching. I order chicken. Now, the cat who makes the chicken, if he's a sinner, then he'll die for eating shrimp and touching shrimp. But I'm not going to die for it. Give me my damn chicken so I can get the hell up out of here. So now why? So that I don't go nuts. You get my point. Go ahead. Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's an ingredient called monodiglyceride.
Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to be a byproduct of pork.
Right.
Is it lawful to eat any of those things?
I've never heard of that. Okay. Let me just give you an overall thing, right? When I was very young coming up, right, they used to make insulin for diabetes. And when I was young, it said pork on the bottle. It said P-O-R-K, pork. It was made from pork. And so I remember I coming into the truth, like, no, this is before. They stopped doing it by the time I was in the truth. But when I came into the truth, it can begin to drive you crazy, like, this medicine comes from pork. This medicine comes from that. And you can go nuts with thinking about things like that. You don't eat pork, and taking something with pork in it is not eating pork. That's not the same thing. I'll explain to you if you want for a second. Do you eat cow shit? Are you sure? Do you eat vegetables? Sometimes. What are vegetables made of? Every vegetable is made of cow shit. Do you eat dead mice, dead rats, dead worms? Are you sure? Well, every vegetable. Well, when the mouse died, when a field mouse and a field rat dies, they don't bury that seed. So what happens to the mouse and the rat that lives outside? It becomes a fossil, and its dead body goes into your broccoli. It's in it, right? The same way if I eat a fish that has, give me some vitamins in fish. Omega-3. I eat the fish. What's in me now? Omega-3. It's in my body. Omega-3 is inside of me. Now, I'm made of omega-3. It's in me. Well, if you eat vegetables, you are eating everything that dies in the ground. Bugs, worms, rats, mice, everything. Because it goes in the vegetable, and cow shit, which is manure, which feeds every vegetable, period. Do you understand? Am I eating worms because I eat broccoli? Because a dead worm is in the broccoli? No, I'm not. Because the change that's made to a dead worm, the change that's made to it That is not a worm that's going into my broccoli, because it is making a damn metamorphosis after it dies and decays. And the thing that's in my broccoli is not a dead rat. It's not a dead worm. I should just eat broccoli and shut my mouth and relax. Or else you will go nuts with this, and I've seen it. Well, you begin to say, how can I make sure that no unclean thing ever goes into me? And you will go into schizophrenia doing that. You will go into schizophrenia when you begin to realize how many unclean things come in contact with broccoli and spinach. Do you understand? And really, those things can't exist without an unclean thing. It can't. There's no way to have broccoli without cow manure. You can't have it without spinach, without cow manure, and without the dead things in the ground that make the ground able to feed broccoli. You need worms. You can't take the worms out of the ground, but the worms die in the ground, and the rats and the moles die in the ground. Don't go crazy out. Eat the damn broccoli. That's this precept. Give me shambles. Go ahead.
Two questions online.
Go ahead.
On the same topic.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, y'all. I asked if so is that the same thing with gelatin? And just had some pains with saying a lot of supplements have gelatin. I guess they want to.
Okay, no, it's not the same thing with gelatin. Gelatin is pork fat. It's not. It has went through no metamorphosis and change. The reason it's jellied is for the same reason you cook meat and put it in your refrigerator, and you come the next day and it's jelly, because it's just the pig. It's just the meat fat. And every animal, beef has the same thing. Beef and every meat thing, and fruit has the same thing. It's called pectin. Come on.
Isn't that alternative to gelatin?
Pectin. You go and get pectin, which fruit has the same properties, which is what the UPK has been doing since 1969. Instead of getting there's marshmallows they make now with pectin. You can really, give up all of those things and get it in a clean way. Marshmallows you can have, ham you can have made from turkey, bacon you can have made from beef and turkey. Damn everything. I don't know if it's a thing you can't have anymore that they don't make in a clean way. Gelatin is unclean. It hasn't been through the change that things go through to be clean. But like an insulin, like I brought up earlier, the pork that was in insulin, it's not pork anymore. It's, this nonsense that some scientist has weeded it out and did a whole metamorphosis on it. But that gelatin is absolutely unclean. You can't eat gelatin. It hasn't been through the change, all right? Is there anything else like that? Ephraim? Give me the shambles precept.
1 Corinthians 10 and 25.
Go ahead, out in the back. Levi.
Back to gelatin. It's like a preserve, different from gelatin, like a jelly preserve.
You mean like the preserve, like the No, it's the same. It's the reason that it's jellified, that shaken, is because of pork fat. If it's gelatin now, I believe now they make, when you got to call them, because I don't think every gelatin is made from pig anymore, because of the so-called Jew and because of people being so health conscious. That I don't believe a lot of it they make it from pork anymore. You got to go find out. When we were young coming up, it was always pork. I don't believe that is the case anymore. You should just check. Pectin is always clean, but gelatin in some cases might also be clean now, but you'd have to go find out. Go ahead, Ash.
1 Corinthians 10 and 25. Whatsoever is sold in the shambles, that eats.
What is a shambles? Who knows? Look it up, someone.
Ask you no questions.
You just Google it. That's all you got to do. Just Google the word shambles, all right? You have it? Let me know.
Shambles. A state of total disorder.
That's not that context. Go ahead.
A butcher's slaughterhouse.
That's more onto the context. Go ahead.
That's the only
store. That's the same thing. A butcher shop, a store. That's a shambles. It's the old term for where you go buy meat. When the prophets of God or the disciples of Christ were out teaching, one of the main reasons that they were afraid to leave their town and go to these cities was, what in the hell are we going to eat? We're going to go to this butcher shop and get lamb? There's a pig head right there. Now, if you're a Jew, that you're not leaving your town. General YAHANNA ain't going in there. So then, but now, if I can't leave my town, if I got to stay home, I can't teach the gospel. So what are you going to have to do? You're going to go into that store and eat it. They got chicken? Give me the chicken. They got clean meats. I don't see what you're doing over there. I don't see that. Brother, could you at least wash the knife? I ain't trying to sweat you, but I mean, damn. If you can wash the knife, I'll give you a tip. That's what we used to do. Like, you get a cat a couple of dollars, man. He'll change the grease up for you or do something for you in there. Your brother, here's $3 more out. Help me out. Put that in that grease over there and wash that knife off. I ain't trying to, be a big problem. But without that, you really cannot travel because there are sinners outside your door. So you'll go crazy unless you can have some, I'm not worried about it. That's what you need. A little, I'm not worried about it. Then you can travel all across the world and go teach. You get my point. That's what you need. All right, good to go. Next. Mm-hmm.
Somebody is asking why is tuna unclean?
Tuna is unclean because tuna, give it to him in Leviticus just to make sure. Tuna does not have scales. You cannot eat anything from the water that does not have fins and scales. A crab is unclean to you because it does not have fins or scales. A catfish is unclean to you because though it hath fins, it hath not scales. Shrimp has a fin, but it has not scales. Give me something else. Shark, though it hath fins, it hath not scales. It has to have both. If you don't have both, you can't eat it. Come on.
Leviticus 11:9. These shall you eat of all that are in the waters. Whatsoever hath fins and scales in the waters, in the seas, and in the rivers, them shall you eat.
That's why you can't eat tuna, because the tuna does not have scales. Now, is that going to kill you? No, you'll be all right. All you do is just replace your tuna lust with salmon. It's right there in the same aisle. You just go, thank you. You just go get a canned salmon. And you can make all your salmon salad and put your salmon on your crackers and salmon sandwiches. And you just do the same thing you would do with tuna, but you do it with salmon. Simple enough to get, all right? Come on.
This clarity when it comes to the fish. I heard like a lot of people in the world, try to say this fish right here, they both in the same water. They both surround around the fish. They both this, they both that. Yeah, I mean, so what makes this one clean? What makes this one unclean?
So then, don't eat any fish, right? And so then, what could you eat? Nothing. That's well, we went over that earlier, right? You see where this goes? It goes there. It goes into you're a breatharian. Do you know that's a real thing? That's a real thing. Because Zaryak broke it down to me. I said, what? He said, this cat said, Dr. Inky. He showed me the video where the cat said, you don't really need to eat because you eat every time you breathe. And the nigga just breathes in his nutrients. That's where you want to go, all right? I mean, it's gonna be hard trying to fight me in a physical fight, though, because I ate. I think I'm ready to go. Now you have been starving for days, and you and I will fight one day. That's up to you. If you want to be a breatharian, because of course, if that logic is true, what could you eat? You could eat nothing. Go ahead and eat that clean meat out. Go ahead and eat it. Don't relax. It's okay. Eat the clean meat and let's get to camp. That's all. All right. Anything else? Gentlemen, go ahead.
Got that last Israel getting breakdown on
Jonathan and David.
Go ahead.
You broke down, I don't know what Zondervan, but you proved that it was that.
Okay, the kiss. That's correct. It's a touch. It's in the Zondervan. I believe that's where it is. It's in the Zondervan for kiss. That it means touch. Right? Today, a kiss is a kiss on the lips. But a kiss in the Bible is a touch, which indicates that we're friends because we touch. We touch. You get my point? And you, of course, would not touch an enemy. Touching indicates that you and I are not enemies. Right? And when you read kiss in the Bible and in the New Testament, where the Most High said, greet every brother with a spiritual kiss, right? Meaning that touch that we all give each other, which is, of course, why I said spiritual kiss. And all the kisses that you read about in the Bible that makes closeted gay men think, kiss you on the lips. You should not do that. Especially not Commander General YAHANNA. Do not try to kiss him. I'm telling you. Okay? He will not think you're spiritual. Come on.
Can I use this precept for that breakdown, sir?
Go ahead.
Luke chapter 23, verse 48. And all the people that came together to that sight, beholding the things which were done, smote their breasts and returned.
That's it. Smote their breasts, meaning shalom. Shalom. And they left. They returned to their homes. Right? Which is where we get this from. That's that. Come on.
Kiss, and this is in the Zondervan, is a common greeting among male relatives.
That's it. You can read a little more. I believe it says touch right down there.
It has a ton of scripture that's in it.
Con. You'll read it all. It's going to say touch somewhere down there and all them reading, all right? It's a touch. You get the point. You know, it's just like we use it today with kissing the curb or kissing, you know, like when you kiss the curb or you kiss, come on. Exactly. It's a kiss. It's like a touch. That's what kiss means. In the old English, it means touch. All right, go ahead. Mashak.
I don't know if they want to do this video with the Breatharian.
Why you getting video, right? This one, 2 Samuel 20 and 9. Where it say, and Joab said to Amasa, thou wilt help my brother. And Joab took Amasa by the beard with the right hand to kiss him. That is the same thing as, you know,
that's it. It's what we do every day. It's a touch, right? A hug. We cross the cheek. It's a touch. It doesn't mean you give him sugar on the lips. Don't do that. The Bible is in Old English. Read every goddamn. We talk differently nowadays. The definitions are different now. All right, a touch is a kiss. All right, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. You got the breatharian. Let me see.
Tom calls me Angel, and I love connecting the right people and spread the awareness regarding health. So I met Tom 4 months ago at a retreat, and since then we are in touch. And this time when he was coming, he contacted and we started arranging the seminars, the retreats, the talks. So here we are. Tom, over to you with your life story.
Hi, my name is Tom Elamine, and I'm a breatharian. And a breatharian is a person that can eat very little or none at all. Now, I grew up in Ohio, USA. And growing up in Ohio, USA, I grew up in a family where my mother made sure that we always had food within the household. She made sure so much that we had extra freezers, extra refrigerators, and we actually fed the whole neighborhood. So me growing up in this type of household, when I finally broke away and got my own family and got married, that idea too was in my head to always have enough food to feed your family, and I also bought extra freezers, extra refrigerators, because that was the idea, to always have food available. Now as time went forth, I began to gain more and more weight, and I began to feel very bad. However, everybody in my reality growing up in America, because it was encouraged to eat the 3 meals a day, However, it was the 5 meals a day and the big portions. That was commonplace where I grew up at. So, however, I began to gain more and more weight, really feel bad about myself. And then one day, as I had to go see the doctor, my blood pressure began to rise and a whole lot of other things began to come into play. However, one day out of being desperate, I ran into a man who said, "Won't you just leave meats alone?" Now, at that time, being desperate and my health really
Tom
feeling
said, I got to
bad,
go on.
I was
He went, this all spiraled into eating breath. Now imagine now. And it's, let me tell you, they used to call this paranoid schizophrenia because it comes from fear. You're afraid, you're so afraid of a thing that you go and you begin to do something absolutely irrational. Like you absolutely can eat better without being terrified of food. And it used to be called paranoid schizophrenia. And now, listen, he grew up in a place where if someone comes over to the house, he can be hospitable with him and give him food. Now, what did he do? Give him breath? Oh, hey, shalom, brother, come on in. Breathe all you want. Breathe. You can have some breath over here. I got all the breath you want. Come on in. Y'all can all come in. We got breath for everybody. General Cabal.
Yeah, I mean, he like fasting for, taking it to a whole nother.
Yeah, it's a lunatic. Like it's like taking something and then you keep going and going and going into a mania, and then you're a schizophrenic. And one day you're gonna have to fight me. You should all y'all should be prepared for that one day. Okay, you never know what it could happen. I'm just telling you. Michelle, go ahead. Oh my God. It's bulimia, anorexia, there's all kinds of shit. And it's just a demon of, well, that's not good. That's not good. This ain't good. That ain't good. That ain't good. I'm a breatharian. Come on. Forget about it. Forget about this. And the Romans, that's correct. And that begins, this is a scripture about, of course, if you eat meat or don't eat meat, don't hate each other. Leave each other alone. Right? Don't get religious about it. If you eat meat, don't look down on brothers that don't eat meat. If you don't eat meat, don't look down on brothers that do. Don't get all lunatic about everything. And remember, witchcraft it revolved a lot around food. You know, eye of newt, sage, boil of this, boil like a big old pot. And what's in that pot? Salmon root, this root, and that root, and this. And once you take this, all of your problems will go away. Food can begin to be witchcraft if you make it more than food. It's just food. Don't eat too much of it. Get what you got to get. Don't kill yourself over it. Don't eat so much that your feet get cut the hell off. Don't be religious about it. Just get what you have to get. Mind your goddamn business and go to camp. That's it. Mashak.
Somebody had a question.
Go ahead.
Kind of same diet thing. Are duck feathers unlawful to eat? The white man is using them in an ingredient of dough conditioner.
Yeah, that's
duck feathers and human hair.
Yeah, that's another schizophrenic nonsense. The duck feathers. If you ate a pile of duck feathers, you would not have sinned. I don't know why in the hell you would be doing anything like that. But there is no law against touching a duck feather. The law says what? Go to Leviticus quickly, y'all. I got to wrap this up across the line. Across the line, you with me? Stand by. Here I come. Okay, come on. John the Baptist wore a cloak of camel hair. Read the unclean laws quickly, fast. Leviticus 11. You got it, Ephraim? I just read it, top of it. Go ahead.
11:1. And the Lord spake unto Moses and unto Aaron, saying, verse 2, speak unto the children of Israel, saying, these are the beasts which ye shall eat among the beasts that are on the earth. Verse 3, whatsoever parteth the hoof and is cloven footed.
You get that? If an animal parts the hoof and is cloven footed, you can eat it. Keep going.
And cheweth the cud.
Cheweth the cud, which is a process. Chewing the cud is like you eat grass, digest it, and then regurgitate it back up in your mouth. That's chewing cud. It's not simply eating grass. It's the process that when you eat it, it goes into one stomach, you put it, you regurgitate it back up in your mouth and chew it. Some animals chew it 4 times, and it goes into 4 different stomachs or 4 chambers of a stomach. That's chewing cud. What animals do that? Sheep, goats, cows, llamas. That's the thing. That's it. All right, go ahead. You might have some more. I can't recall. Go ahead.
Among the beasts, that you shall you eat. Verse 4. Nevertheless, these shall you not eat of them that cheweth the cud, or that divided the hoof, as a camel, because he cheweth the cud, but divided not the hoof.
The Bible says you cannot eat a camel. John the Baptist wore what? A cloak made of camel hair. Camel hair is not camel meat. It's not camel flesh, and it's not eating the camel. It's the hair from a camel, and you can touch that hair because the camel, you're not touching his flesh. For time's sake, you read down, it's going to say don't touch the carcass of any unclean animal. So a dead camel, you cannot touch a dead camel. You cannot eat a dead camel, but you can go over to your camel, take shears and cut hair off of it. You can go over to your goose and duck and collect all the damn duck feathers and make a pillow if that's what you want to make. Come on. You can take a quill pen and write with a quill pen. You absolutely can. That's not unlawful. Now, I've heard about this week about this duck something is in something, right? I haven't researched it because I don't give a damn about it, but I can almost guarantee that if I go to research how this duck feather is now turned into lycopene, the process of taking this duck feather and making it into lycopene is going to make it stop being a duck feather. It will not be a duck feather anymore once it goes through this process of renaturing the damn thing to be a drug or to be a whatever it is. It will not be a duck feather anymore, just like manure is not manure once it's in your broccoli. It's like dead rat carcass is not dead rat carcass once it's in your broccoli. But you got to go research it. I haven't just because I don't care. All right. But you can go research it on your own. All right. What is it supposed to be in again? Hair conditioner. Hey, you don't wash your damn self anyway. Just stop washing. Fuck do I care? Just don't wash. That's what this is all about anyway. You don't want to wash. You want to breathe breath and breathe your hot ass breath on everybody. You want to be a homeless man. That's what this is. That's where this goes. You want to be a homeless man with 10 bags sitting on a bench thinking you know all the secrets. Be him. Be out. Let your hair mat up, all matty and dirty. Why? Because it's duck feathers in shampoo. So your hair is matty. You're living outside on the goddamn bench, breathing all the air you want to breathe, eating all the breath. Do it. Next. Mm-hmm.
Can I please get a general breakdown of Micah 7 and 5?
Go ahead.
Micah 7 and 5. Trust ye not in a friend, put ye not confidence in a guide.
Keep going.
Keep the doors of thy mouth from her that lieth in thy bosom.
This is an old school UPK precept, and none of you follow at all. What this means, Ak, is that if there is someone in your life that is in the world, you cannot trust them. You can't trust your friends, your guides, your wife, because they will betray you. What you can trust is someone that keeps the law, and you can't trust anyone else. Shut your mouth from this. Micah 7 and 7? 7 and 5. Shut the doors of thy mouth from her that lies in your bosom. This same woman you got right now that's in the world, guess what? Get ready to defend the UPK in court against her. Because here's what's going to happen. You are going to court with her, and she is going to say you're in a cult in court. If you are not ready for that, you ain't ready to be married. You got to be ready to walk into court, and she's going to say, Your Honor, he's in a crazy cult. He's in this cult. If you freeze like, oh, they're gonna find out I'm in the UPK. She said it in court. What am I gonna do? You got to be ready to answer that in court, to give the judge the name of the school, to tell him everything about us so he can look it up on his computer. He got sitting right up there on the damn thing, and let him look it up. You have to be ready for it. If you with some slut in the world that gets high and smokes weed, you're going to go to court with her eventually, and she's going to say you're in a cult, right? Keep your mouth shut from her. You cannot trust her. Everybody understands. Go ahead. Next.
Same sister, I guess, more specific.
Go ahead.
She asked, she said, Salakia, what if the man gossips as well?
What if the brother is in the world and gossips as well? The same thing goes for a woman. If you're married to a brother in the world, that brother in the world is going to take you to court and say you're in a cult. He's going to do it. It's the same exact thing. This is irrelevant with men or women. This is about believers and non-believers. And if he does not believe, that same brother is going to say, Your Honor, she's in a cult. She is in a cult. She in there, and her man has more than one wife. Listen, this shocks me when I hear men say it. I don't know why. It's like still to this day, it makes me go, damn, you against this man? You a man. When you hear a man say, y'all in there having more than one woman, ain't you a man? Are you gonna come up against us with this too? So you're mad at us, a man. A man is gonna tell you, nah, he in this cult, and he have all these girls, and all these women listening to him and obeying him. That ain't right. Damn, you don't think that's right? And you're a man? Well, it is Gay Pride Month. Man, it's a free country, huh? So you got to defend yourself, sister, if your husband is in the world. Some sisters, you're married to a brother in the world. Here's what I would have you do. When you come into the truth and you have to wait 6 months to a year to have a husband, do not get lonely and have sex with some man in the world because you can't wait for a UPK man. Don't do that. So many of you stupid idiots. While you're waiting to get a UPK man, I got lonely, General. I was so stupid. I got lonely. And you going to have sex with some Jake. That Jake is taking you to court, and he's going to tell the judge that you're in a cult. And woman, you better get ready to give him an answer. In court, you better get ready. Everybody understands. Mashak. Go ahead. Cross the line. I got to go, right? Headquarters. Anything else, Mashak?
We have it down here, so they can fall off and go if you want to keep it.
Okay, do I have anything else? Is there something else? Come on.
Somebody asked for a breakdown on Judith 11 and 12.
Go ahead. We passed the class. If anybody has to roll for the slavery or something, don't sweat it, all right? You got to roll, all right? I try to get as many as I can. I think I'll be staying afterwards to do some counsels if you need me to as well, all right? Go ahead. I think, or is it tomorrow, Mashak?
I think a couple of people here tonight.
Solid. Come on.
Judith, chapter 11, verse 12. For their victuals fail them, and all their water is scant. And they have determined to lay hands upon their cattle, and purpose to consume all those things that God hath forbidden them to eat by his law.
I mean, okay, I can't recall this. It sounds pretty self-explanatory, but read a little more.
Verse 13. And are resolved to spend the first fruits of the tenths of wine and oil, which they had sanctified and reserved for the priests that serve in Jerusalem.
I think that explained it to you. Come on, General Cabal.
Like we under siege and they trying to spoil us. What have you?
Okay, who is the they who have reserved to eat the cattle? Skip above it, or else I got to go look it up myself. Go ahead.
It's like Judah chapter 11, verse 7.
Mm-hmm.
Judah chapter 11, verse 7. As Nebuchadnezzar, king of all the earth, liveth, and as his power liveth, who have sent thee for the upholding of every living thing. But not only men shall serve him by thee, but also the beasts of the field and the cattle, and the fowls of the air shall live by thy power under Nebuchadnezzar
Go ahead.
and all his house. For we have heard of thy wisdom and thy policies, and it is reported in all the earth that thou only art excellent in all the kingdom,
Go ahead.
and mighty in knowledge, and wonderful in feats of war. Now,
Talking about this Assyrian king, Nebuchadnezzar, I believe his name is. You can look it up. He's so wonderful. He's so great. Everything is going to serve him. Every animal is going to serve him, not the Most High. That's going into the point. Keep going.
Verse 9. Now, as concerning the matter which Achior did speak in thy counsel, we have heard his words. For the men of Bethulia saved him, and he declared unto them all that he had spoken unto thee. Therefore, O Lord and Governor, respect not his word, but lay it up in thine heart. For it is true, for our nation shall not be punished, neither can sword prevail against them, except they sin against their God.
You get that, right? Meaning, okay, I remember this a little more now that he's trying to warn the Syrian king that don't come against Israel unless they disobey their God. Continue.
Verse 11. And now that my Lord be not defeated and frustrate of his purpose, even death is now fallen upon them, and their sin hath overtaken them, wherewith they will provoke their God to anger, whensoever they shall do that which is not fit to be done.
Meaning, if we can get them, because of their distress and their pain, to sin against their God, then we can conquer them. Continue.
Verse 12. For their victuals fail them, and all their water is scant.
So now, because they're poor, victuals is like vitals, meaning the things that you need to eat, right? But when your victuals or your vitals fail you, and your what water, say it again?
And their water is scant.
And their water is scant, meaning it's not a lot of water, meaning you're poor. The nation is poor right now. Keep going.
And they have determined to lay hands upon their cattle.
And because of that, now we will lay hands on our cattle, but not just any cattle, the cattle that we have determined to give to the Most High because of the law. And you know, the first male bullock goes to the Most High. 10% of your cattle goes to the Most High. But when you're poor, what does logic tell you to do? Don't pay your tithes. That's what logic says. Because you're behind on your money. You're poor now. And you will always be poor. Always. And that's what happened here. The heathen king was saying, right now they're poor. So because they're poor, they will go and lay hands on cattle that belongs to the priests. They'll go kill the animals for themselves that they're supposed to give to the temple because they're poor right now. Everybody understands. Continue.
And purpose to consume all those things that God hath forbidden them to eat by his laws.
Go ahead.
And are resolved to spend the first fruits of the tenth of wine.
So imagine everything that you're not supposed to eat, which are the unclean animals, the 10%, the first of everything that belongs to the temple, all of your different offerings that you have to pay. Those things they were going to eat because they're poor. And if they do it, then they will be easily conquered. That's the point. Do we need to go into more of this or not? Mashak, was that it?
That's what she asked.
Go ahead. Next.
Somebody asked a question on 1 John 2 and 27. Shalom, General. Can I get a breakdown on 1 John 2 and 27? Ye need not that any man teach you.
Read it, please. I'll take 2 or 3 more questions and I'm done, all right? You pick 3 more, Mashak, and I'm out.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead. We got the book of 1 John chapter 2, verse 27. But the anointing which ye have received of him abideth in you, and ye need not that any man teach you. But as the same anointing teacheth you of all things, and is truth, and is no lie, and even as it hath taught you, ye shall abide in him.
Okay, what book is this in? This is in the book of 1 John in the New Testament, right? I've heard this. This is what your schizophrenia is telling you. The schizophrenia is telling you that no man has to teach you because you teach yourself. Read it one more time so you can make sure you hear him talk to you. Read it again.
1 John chapter 2, verse 27. But the anointing which ye have received.
The what?
From him,
I don't like that word. I was gonna put a new word on my list of words I hate too. I forget what it was. But I know I don't like anoint. I can't even halfway say it. Anointing, cute, or moist. And there's another word I forgot, but it's about to get on the list. Keep going. You think you got what? Go ahead. Purple is not unlawful. But there's another word. I'll try to remember what it is. Say again, fellowship. That sounds right. Keep going.
But the anointing which ye have received of him abideth in you, and ye need not that any man teach you.
Because you got the anointing. So you don't need anybody to teach you. Now, this is in John, right? In the book of 1 John. If you don't need any man to teach you, then what would that mean? You know what? Okay, well, who could teach you if you don't need any man to teach you? Could you teach yourself?
No.
Why?
Because you have to learn how to teach yourself.
Okay, that's true in a way. But the reason that you could not teach yourself is because if you taught yourself, then a man would be teaching you. You would be the man teaching you, right? If you teach yourself, a man just taught you. You taught yourself, right? And of course, a man taught you, which is your father, your school teachers, your third grade teacher, whoever taught you how to walk, talk, and eat, and use words. If no man could teach you, then you couldn't teach yourself. So many Christians read this and think, I have the anointing. I don't have to listen to anybody. I will breathe my breath and go live out in the park bench. And my dreadlocks and my bags and my papers with all my notes of secrets that the government is trying to do. Don't do that. When it says no man shall teach you, meaning if you're in the truth like John was, and of course John was taught by a man. What was that man's name? Yahushua. Right? John was one of the disciples of Christ who was taught by Yahushua. And then when Yahushua left, what did Yahushua say to Peter? Upon thou shall I build my church. Peter, thou art my rock. When Christ left, he put Peter in charge, which would mean then that John has to obey Peter, right? John obeyed Christ and obeyed Peter. Now, there ain't no damn reason he should be out listening to anybody else. That's the no man shall teach you. You brothers out there, you go into that chat house and all of that internet garbage you do, don't be in there learning from any goddamn body. What are you in there learning from somebody? You in there learning. Jesus Christ. Why would you be doing that? Go ahead.
If somebody was saying this, ask them where they learn it, they're going to say John.
You see how it'll make you go crazy. Because then if I read this and go, John said, I don't have to listen to any man. I just listen to John, which I can't do. You got to rip the Bible up and just dream, I guess. Come on.
Is it safe to say that Christ obeyed Moses?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Christ kept the law of Moses. It is written of him. The law of Moses is about Christ. When it says don't listen to any man, you got to just put in, like, think about it, you telling some brother. Don't be in there listening to cats online. Don't let them teach you anything. I don't listen to anything conscious. Nothing. I don't want a rapper trying to drop nothing heavy on me. Once I hear he's trying to in the mind. Shalom. I don't want to. Don't be heavy. I don't want nobody to be heavy. I get taught by Commander General YAHANNA. I don't want no rapper to drop nothing heavy on me. I know y'all, Kanye West blowing your mind, ain't it? What's the one that's on TV with the faces? The little cat. Kendrick Lamar. Oh man. See. Kendrick Lamar. Is he dropping it, ain't he? Nobody drops anything on me. Nothing. The minute I'm insulted by anyone trying to teach me, it feels like, you know, what are you doing teaching me? You should know not to teach me any goddamn thing. I'm too far gone. That's what John is trying to say. John is talking to these brothers like, don't get out there now. You're sitting there learning from this cat, learning from that cat. You're the authority. Why? Because you've been chosen, which is what anointed means. You were anointed. Was oil poured on your head? And who in the hell are you listening to? That's what the anointing is. Because of the Christian church, you think the anointing is magic. The anointing is when those brothers got risen up. They were raised up as officers. And now because they've been anointed, they aren't to listen to any man. You should understand that if you're One West. Keep going. Anything else?
General, if I may, can I get a breakdown of Jeremiah 29 verses 4 through 6? And also, how do you apply this precept to our current captivity?
Go ahead.
Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 4. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, unto all that are carried away captives, whom I have caused to be carried away from Jerusalem.
This is the second of the three I asked for. I asked for 3 more questions. Is this number 2? Think about it. Go ahead. Go ahead, Doc.
Whom I have caused to be carried away from Jerusalem unto Babylon. Build ye houses and dwell in them, and plant gardens and eat the fruit of them.
So now the men in Babylon, this cat sent a letter saying, you're in Babylon? Build a house. Make a garden. Grow fruit trees. Come on.
You know, like, listen, Jeremiah said, listen, you going into captivity for 80 years. Take your ass over there and just do the time. When you run down to Egypt, you ain't going to be in big trouble when you go down there.
This is a mindset. There's a mindset that you can have in prison, in hell. They're telling you to have the mindset here. This cat wrote this letter. And he's saying you're in Babylon. Buy a house, plant a vineyard, plant a garden, make yourself at home in slavery. That's what this man said. That was in his letter to the captives in Babylon. Keep going.
Verse 6. Take ye wives and beget sons and daughters.
So now you're in there marrying the Babylonian women. You know, having the gardens, you're becoming real Americans. You go and assimilate into Babylon. Why? Because you're going to be there so long. So you might as well do as the Babylonians do, because you're going to be there so long. Continue.
And take wives for your sons and give your daughters to husbands.
You might as well make marriages with them, prosper among them, because you're going to be there, so you have to become Babylonians, because you're going to be there so long. Continue.
That they may bear sons and daughters, that ye may be increased there and not diminished.
Keep going.
Verse 7. And seek the peace of the city, where I have caused you to be carried away captive.
Assimilate with them. Assimilate. Make peace with them. Marry them. Give your daughters to them. Take their sons to your daughters and make money there, because you're going to be there a long time. Continue.
And pray unto the Lord for it. For in the peace thereof shall ye have peace. For thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, let not your prophets and your diviners that be in the midst of you deceive you, neither hearken to your dreams, which ye cause to be dreamed.
Meaning, as you're in there, don't let those prophets lie to you or those dreams to you, because they're going to tell you to be separate. They're going to tell you to hold on to your integrity. Don't listen to that. Pray to God for you to join Babylon, be Babylonian, and assimilate with Babylon. Don't listen to those prophets telling you anything else. Don't listen to your dreams that tell you something else. Continue. You might skip down to the point if you could. When the prophet of God. Where are you at now?
Verse 9, sir.
Okay, okay. You're missing one part where he said, "Don't listen to him." Or anyway, this is evil. Okay, when you go through and read it, the prophet of God is going to say, "Whoever wrote this letter is evil. The cat that wrote this letter is wrong." It's right around there somewhere.
Okay. Verse 16. Know that thus said the Lord of the King that sitteth upon the throne of David, and of all the people that dwelleth in this city, and of your brethren that are not gone forth with you into captivity. Thus said the Lord of hosts, behold, I will send upon them the sword, the famine.
You gotta. There's an answer to the letter, to them writing about, make peace in Babylon, do this in Babylon. It's evil and it's wrong. For time's sake, I gotta move on, but it's right here. Where don't do this and don't listen to this stupid letter telling you to assimilate into Babylonian captivity. That's the mindset you don't want to have in hell. It's like going to prison and you just, become a prisoner. You just totally give up your hope and you just start getting high and being a homosexual because, of course, you're never going home. So now you just make your peace with being in there as opposed to fighting every day to get out, which is what the mindset you have to have. General Cabal. Let me hear. Let me hear 31.
Oh, God. Verse 31. Send to all them send to all them of the captivity, saying, thus said the Lord concerning Shemaiah, the Nehelamite, because that Shemaiah hath prophesied unto you, and I sent him not.
You get my point? This letter this cat wrote, that wasn't from the Most High. Right? That was from some wicked politician, some preacher, trying to get you to make a covenant with death. God didn't tell him to write that. Continue.
And he caused you to trust in a lie.
He did what?
And he caused you to trust in a lie.
That's what your Christians have done. We're telling you to assimilate into Spain, assimilate into the British, and then marry them and to join with them. He caused you to make a covenant with a lie. Continue.
Therefore, thus saith the Lord, behold, I will punish Shemaiah, the Nehelamite, and his seed. He shall not have a man to dwell among this people.
So now he's going to pay. You get the point. That whole letter was a lie. Don't believe that. Don't think like that. That's not how you get out of hell, by getting comfortable in it.
Right.
You never leave then. Anything else, Michelle?
One more question.
Go ahead.
Corey Woodhams, he wants to get a meaning for Revelations 20 and verse 13. The sea gave up the dead which were in it. He wants to get to understand that one.
The sea is what all of us were in. The sea is the world. We were all in the sea. Even Rome, the Catholic Church is called the Sea of Rome, right? It's this water that we're all in up to our necks. We're all drowning in it. We're all in it together. The Lord said that the sea would give up her dead, meaning that so many who have drowned in that sea now are spit onto the shore. And now we're out of the sea, and now we're alive. All of us were in that sea, drowning in that sea, drowning in drug addiction and Christianity and child molestation and death and in crime. And then one day, the sea spit us out, and now we can breathe. Continue. If there's more, Michelle.
You want to read the scripture?
Come on, you can read it. Go ahead.
Okay. Revelation chapter 20, verse 13. And the sea gave up the dead which were in it, and death and hell delivered up the dead.
You get that? Death and hell delivered up the dead. Imagine a woman giving birth, right? Or a woman delivering a baby. Death and hell pushed you out. And now you're here. You were rejected by death. Death didn't want you because death wasn't allowed to have you, man. And that's why you're here in the school. The death that destroys everyone and kills everyone would not accept you. It wouldn't take your life. If you ever wonder why you didn't die all those times, why you didn't spend the rest of your life in prison, it was because death was not allowed to have you. Death spit you out. It delivered you out of it. Continue.
which were in them, and they were judged, every man according to their works.
Keep going.
And death and hell were cast into the lake of fire.
So now every man was judged according to his works. Now, death spits you out, and now you get to stand and decide whether or not you want to live. So now the Lord will look at you and see, well, what are you doing? As opposed, you know what your life has been before the truth? You just suffering under your circumstances. The neighborhood you were born in, the parents you were born to, the block you were born in, the uncle you had, and all you were was a product of your environment. Your environment was death and hell. And then one day it spits you out. Now you can stand up and decide what you want to do. You don't have to do what they do on your block anymore. You don't have to do what they did in your house or in your church. Now every man will be judged according to his own work. What do you decide to do? Not your mother, not your neighborhood, not your city, but you. What do you want to do? Now you'll be judged by that. And when you do the right thing, then we'll put death in hell. We'll destroy death the same way death was destroying you. We'll destroy drug addiction and the curse of the Christian church and the lies and the evil and all of the things that you thought you were just born into. And you really didn't have a choice. You just had to do it until one day you decided to take that choice and to choose something better. And then we put death in hell. Come on. Shalom. That's exactly what it's doing. Anything else, Michelle?
That was last.
With that, pass the class over to priest officer. Say your name again.
Kazak, sir.
Kazak.
Just as a reminder, June 12th is the closing of the feast of the first week. Feast of week, June 12th.
Solid. Got it.
Are you going to cut it out? We're going to give one courtesy salute to the teacher, man of Israel, I.S.U.P.K. Barak.
Thumb.
Got the top. Psalms we turn. We give one courtesy salute to the sisters, men of Israel, I.S.U.P.K. Class dismissed.
Take a second, we reflecting with the light, but this the life, I fucking love it. Wouldn't trade it to be white, now that's alright. I got the right at birth, the devil's redefining worth. Someday you'll pay the price. No, I don't break a fold, I need and bake the dough, then recreate the flow. They think they making dough, what they forsake is so essential. Over lentils, get your issue. Guess who's on this instrumental with you? A damn if we was family, view unread and call it spam. I'm not a fan of Antichrist, they slayed the man, I swayed the Tim like here I am, the son of Sam is taking shot to David Berkowitz. Pussy. A different discipline existed than this New York state of mind. Say since not no not the actor, but the year we's effort. Not one thing in mind to grind until this gavel turns his words to mirth from Babel. Since 69, I follow protocol. This kingdom built on God bones, so I can't love Esau, and I can't fuck with y'all. I ain't gotta say it twice. You vouching for the enemy, but look. My father ain't have a father cause of dope. I'm anti-politics cause Christ died from a vote. How the richest nation locked the homeless up for being cold. How ironic they relating smoking weed to getting stoned. You trim your ways to seek they love. I'ma bring this sword back wet with a vesta dipped in blood. Niggas giving up when they don't even give enough. Going nowhere fast, niggas always in a rush. I give them love cause my brothers lost. Christians eating, watch they brothers starve. No way I can serve another God. I give my love cause my brothers lost. Christians eating, watch they brothers starve. I can't serve another God. Cold-blooded.